in Barbados for the month of June 2024.
Talking about investment, the government of Barbados investing $50 million in Kensington Oval, and it looks very good indeed. I had a chance a couple of days ago to go there, and the Honorable Prime Minister is inviting people on Wednesday. I mean, I think that's so wonderful. A lot of work has gone to Kensington Oval, and it's it's the region's mecca.
Andrew Mason, I will say this. I think Prime Minister Motley understands the pulse of the people. Not only are individuals being invited on Wednesday, but there's a walkthrough for the media today. So you're now getting that true sense and feeling of being part of the redevelopment. So sometimes when you quantify the amount of spend, the people who say, where was this money spent?
Right.
You can't answer every question, but you can see where the money was spent. And I think Prime Minister Motley and her team, who have been very strategic in how they've been rolling out the different things for the renovation at the Mecca. And remember, the Mecca in itself has been able to host a number of wonderful cricket matches. I remember the 1999 game with Brian Lara making that unbeaten 153. I was a little bit, well, I wasn't born. I was told about the 302 by Lawrence Rowe.
Right.
You know, so
1974.
1974. So there are so many things that Barbados and Kensington Oval in particular has been able to really witness. And for Barbadians, it's in our DNA. And I always say to persons, even though we don't do well sometimes consistently at the level of West Indies, what people do is that they like to follow stars. And in this competition, I wouldn't want to steal the thunder from my colleague Harold Eastman, but to have had Jofra Archer and Carlos Brathwaite. Carlos Brathwaite, 2016 World Cup hero. Jofra Archer on the mend, back in the England side, playing in this T20 competition. It's tremendous. I mean, we host in Barbados at least 1,200 matches on an annual basis. But to get those type of superstars, that type of credible players in the competition, and they threw everything out. Wildy in the semi-final, there was a wonderful performance by Jofra. Again, Harold will speak about those things. But we've had and continue to take pride in what we do here at the Barbados Cricket Association. We look forward to many more superb exploits in the future.
Well, you know, talking about Jofra, I had an opportunity to see him on 3 occasions. His team, Wildy, they are in the finals, and we were at Friendship. And the fact that he was there, so many people came to see him play. That was amazing. In fact, in that game, I would suggest we could have had pretty close to 3,000 people. And it's so important to have those cricketers turn out. It really adds to the competition, doesn't it?
Well, Andrew, I'll take you a step back. The first match Jofra was supposed to play in, a similar crowd turned up to Wildy. And for whatever reasons which we obviously will not know, he didn't play in the game. But you had a cross-section of Barbadians, persons from overseas, and they were, some of them with the English accent, is Jofra in? And that was the interest. And then when he actually played, Andrew, for Wildy, I remember watching a game, him playing for Wildy at the 4 Square Oval in St. Philip. Wonderful crowd. Persons want to see stars, and the fearlessness of the young Barbadian batsman. Because this is Jofra Archer, the West Indian who plays for England. These guys were very much in tune with the opportunity to make sure that he himself, there was nobody backing away because of his 90-mile-per-hour thunderbolts. They were definitely placing themselves to be combative, and that is the beauty about Barbadians. We don't play names. We play the opportunity. Like I was told one time, Malcolm Marshall, he was playing for, I think, Banks at that time. And there were batsmen lining up to show what they could do against Malcolm Marshall. And the same has been done for Jofra Archer. Yeah,
tremendous. I mean, it added value to the competition. As I said, I certainly had an opportunity to see him. Just to let our listeners know, and of course viewers as well, that we are here on the east coast of Barbados. And as you can see, the birds are having a grand time. No cricket at the moment, but a little bit of a drizzle, so there's some hope for us. The scheduled finals in the cup competition, superb blend Gladiola to play against Wildy at the KMV Oval in Lakes in St. Andrew on the east coast of Barbados. And we just want to let all of you know that the situation is that there's no cricket at the moment, but we're wishing and hoping that we could get some cricket here this afternoon. People are beginning to come to the ground indeed. Now, I just want to talk a bit about preparation. You spoke about the importance of the investment. Are we ready? Are we ready like Freddie Barbados in terms of hosting the World Cup?
Andrew, I believe that the Caribbean is ready. I know Barbados has placed a high priority on making sure we not just be ready, but produce a high quality product. Because one of the things about these competitions is that you don't want a situation where matches are just staged. You want persons to enjoy the entire experience. So if you look at the renovation of the facility at Kensington, look at the roads, Andrew. The roads in Barbados,
Yes.
all of the main arteries
Yes.
have been renovated. There's a program which I believe is called the Mill and Pave program. So again, the government has been strategic. So if you're coming from the airport into the south coast, where I believe most of the teams will be staying,
Yes, yes.
and you've got other parts on the northern parish, the eastern parishes, all of these main arteries.
And the road to Kensington Oval as
I
well.
was going to get to
Broad
that.
Street.
I was
Oh,
going to get that
wonderful.
Broad Street, the road to Kensington over Fontebelle. And that, again, was all part of, I think, a very clear focus on what you want to deliver. We in Barbados have been definitely asking for these roads to be paved for many, many months. And then you look at that, you then go into the integration of what you consider the ordinary man or woman. There have been persons who have been given opportunities through a process to become vendors. I understand from the Prepare Barbados team and the National Organizing Committee is that there's going to be quite a bit that's going to be rolled out this coming week so that Barbados can be further sensitized of the opportunities that they would have. So for me, I think it's not just that we are ready. I think that we are going to roll out a wonderful product. I think we're going to have a wonderful competition. And for us, I would want to see a West Indies team doing very well, maybe the semi-final or the final, and ultimately winning the World Cup in 2024.
It would be tremendous if the West Indies win. What would that mean to the Caribbean man? A West Indies team that, of course, we've not done well in recent times, but can you imagine the West Indies winning this tournament? What will it mean to the people of the Caribbean?
Andrew, there's some activations that people do where players go to, let's say, primary schools or secondary schools, and they encourage kids to follow this great game. But a West Indies team winning the 2024 Cricket World Cup will generate so much interest in not just the young boys, but the young girls. I was at a function yesterday, Andrew, of which 6 female players were integrated into the Cricket Legends of Barbados. It was a wonderful ceremony. The male counterparts were there. So I believe that a win for the West Indies in the 2024 World Cup will have those young players in the secondary schools, the primary schools, and a lot of our players who play club cricket, Andrew, there's a dynamic that has changed. One time there was this whole thing that the ultimate goal would be to be a West Indies Test cricketer. Now everyone wants to be part of the T20 franchise arrangement,
Right.
because there's so many opportunities there. You've got franchises, the biggest one maybe the IPL, but you've got opportunities to play maybe 8-9 months of a year and be able to really make a good living. And we have to look to export those type of cricketers now, just not good Test cricketers, but I think good T20 franchise cricketers and limited overs cricket in general.
That's a very good point you're making, Stephen. And of course, we hope that some of our cricketers, this is why we're promoting our young cricketers. I mean, it's really great to see the Barbados Cricket Association streaming an under-19 finals. I mean, a second division final as well. And I really want to compliment you. I know you've done an excellent job in promoting cricket. There's no doubt about that. Now, there was a bit of a challenge in relation to the whole question of access to tickets. I know that we're supposed to be online. Prime Minister Motley came in, and I heard Noah Lynch saying the ordinary man in the street has to be at Kensington Oval. How has that gone?
Well, the information that's reached us is that there has been a steady improvement in the accessibility. And I mean, I remember Mr. Lynch indicating publicly that there will be at least 1,000 tickets for Barbadians reserved for each of those matches. So we're hosting 9 matches in Barbados. So my understanding is that everything has gone smoothly. The ticket sales at Kensington, Andrew, I believe that all of the tickets for the final have been sold.
Oh, really?
So if you have not gotten your ticket for the final and you don't have accreditation, you're going to have to find some other creative way of trying to get access to a ticket. But those tickets are gone. The tickets, however, for the other 8 matches are still available. So the opportunity for the ordinary man is very much still there. I think the pricing of the tickets, I know there were a lot of negotiations, and they did what I would consider in the middle range. They probably could have done a little better in terms of, really getting to what you consider a person who's at a lower level in terms of income. But because if I want to go to a game, Andrew, and I love cricket, and I budget for 7 or 8 matches before the final. When you do the arithmetic, you're going to be spending a considerable amount of money. But be that as it may, there's access to the tickets. It's a world event, which you can't forget. It is dubbed out of this world. But I want to commend those who have done all the negotiations thus far and to give access to those tickets for the ordinary man or woman in Barbados.
On average, what would it cost me to buy a ticket for the finals? Do you know, Stephen?
Well, from my
Tell
memory,
me, Stephen.
US $17 or Barbados $34 is the cheapest of the tickets
right?
that I've seen in Barbados. And then you go in the range of medium US $45, which is 90 Barbados. And then there's some tickets which are a bit higher, US 85, which is 170 Barbados dollars. So if you do the maths, it is something that we would like persons to recognize that it is not exorbitant, but it's certainly something you have to budget for in a very, very much careful way. And I think that you can pull together a really good plan to get to cricket at Kensington, and there are going to be some wonderful matches. And those matches are starting on the 2nd of June, and we continue up until that grand final on the 29th.
No, there's a big game. Big game on the 8th. New Zealand are very much involved against England. Now, if I had to buy a ticket for that game, you think you can tell me what it would possibly cost me?
Well, based on the numbers that I was articulating just now, I was on point with all of them. The most expensive ticket, Andrew, is US 260 Barbados.
260.
That's for a premium ticket, and the premium in Barbados is where you've got the 3W stand, and that 3W stand is where you get to see directly behind where the bowler's arm is. And for that final, you can also purchase a ticket at US 160, which is 320 Barbados. So those are the most expensive, but as I said earlier, you can start from as cheap as US $17 or 34 Bajan. The middle range is about 45 US or 90 Barbados. Then you get a slightly more expensive ticket at the Super 8s, US $85 or 170. And then those other prices which we just articulated. For the final, you come in at US 160, 320, or for a very premium ticket, US 260 or Barbados 520.
Tell me about the party stand. How is that going?
No, the party stand is one of these unique things. I mean, Andrew, I say it because I met with the proprietor maybe last Monday.
Right.
And I was asking him how things were coming on. And he's got some tremendous numbers. I remember when you're dealing with the party stand, you can start as low as US 25 US in some of the games. And you can go as high as US 275, so $550. But there's a package. You've got the entertainment where you've got some live entertainers while cricket is going on during the break. You've got a situation where you're having some drinks as part of the arrangement in the party stand. And my understanding is that there's some packages as well that is drinks and food.
Okay.
But Mr. Chapman Stewart, I can call his name publicly, is the person who I understand will be driving this very important part of the event. And Andrew, when you get a chance to see inside Kensington, the party stand is right next to a temporary grandstand.
Right.
It's a wonderful view. So you're going to enjoy, you're going to get value for money. Keep it simple. Value for money in the party stand, and that grandstand and those other stands that are existing will be a tremendous opportunity for everyone at Kensington Oval.
What you just said leads me to the next question. What exactly would have been done at the region's Mecca in relation to making it better? I know that some work had to be done. It was done. Could you tell us exactly what are some of the main things that would have been done at the ground?
Well, basically start from the basic. The capacity of the stadium has been increased to 18,000 persons. So the temporary stands who have been erected at the Kensington Oval that allows a maximum of 18,000 persons at the venue. When it comes to the infrastructure at the Oval, a lot of the renovations of all of the suites, and these are the areas that people rent on an annual basis or for the event, they've been totally renovated. All of the washroom facilities, all the basins, all of the fixtures and fittings within the entire stadium. So if I go, for example, or you and I visit the 3W stand or the Greenwich and Haynes stand, and we go through the aisles or we go in the washrooms and everything has been renovated. It has really come to another level. There's been painting of the walls. The Kensington Oval that we see come June 2nd is going to be a completely transformed entity and facility to what we saw a few months ago. And I think it's money well spent. And I think what the government is very keen on doing is making sure that we not only look at the infrastructure and the renovations, but to look at the benefit legacy-wise. Barbados must feel that their money have been spent well, and that they must feel that they're part of a very important exercise. And this is hosting an international World Cup. It's one of the biggest events. I've heard other people speak about cricket or football World Cups and other things. Andrew Mason, what we are hosting on the 29th of June is one of the biggest events, and probably will not come this way in the Caribbean for a very long time.
Just to update our listeners and viewers, of course, the news is that there's no cricket. We are certainly scheduling the finals here at the KMV Oval on the east coast of Barbados, St. Andrew. And as I certainly look out on the field, yes, some action with the covers being taken off. I'm told that the drainage at the ground is very, very good indeed. In fact, I was speaking to those responsible, and they're telling me that once there is no more rain, we could possibly get some cricket, and that's very good news. I know that the Barbados Cricket Association ground staff, they're here to fortify things, and the covers are coming off. Lots of water on the covers, but in fact, when I was here last year, we had lots of rain as well, and we were able to complete the match. So we're going to keep you updated as far as that is concerned. But at the moment, no cricket in the finals. Certainly, Gladiola, the defending champions, superb blend Gladiola up against Wildy at the KMV Oval here at Lakes in St. Andrew on the east coast of Barbados. A wonderful facility. I like it. I really hope that those responsible can invest in this facility, because I really think that it's one that could work out to be a first-class venue. Lots of action taking place. We'll certainly keep you posted. Stephen Leslie has gone for a break, and the statistician Harold Eastman has joined me. Hello, Harold. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Andrew, and to all viewers.
Mm-hmm. Well, your team is not involved. I know you're Parkite.
Yes. That's Frugen Boutique Spark.
I have to give them their credit. They're not involved. And Gladiola and Wildy are very much involved in this. You have been keeping the stats. And based on what you've got to present to us, the two best teams would have come through to the finals in your view?
Yes. Well, first, Andrew, I would like to let viewers know that the latest that we can start this afternoon for a 5-over game is 9 minutes to 5, 4:51.
Mm-hmm.
So we have up to 4:51.
And what time is it on that big, lovely watch you've got there?
That it says here now 22 minutes past 2.
22 past 2. All right, so just confirm that again. The latest
the latest that we can start is at 4:51, 9 minutes to 5 this afternoon for a 5-over game, which would not be ideal for a final. We would prefer in a case like that to come back tomorrow, but that is part of the regulations of the tournament. Yeah,
well, they're doing some serious work, no doubt about that, to try to get the venue ready for the action. Big staff out there. I know fortified by the Barbados Cricket Association. And it's, at the moment, overcast, no rain, Harold, and that's very good news indeed.
Yes, away to the east, there's a clearing there, but what's been happening, we've been having very little wind, and because of that, whenever the clouds come over, they've been hanging around for a while.
Now, you've been in this job for a long time. In fact, in the old time days, we used to call you scorers. Now, you're statisticians. And you've done a wonderful job over the years. In fact, on CBC radio, and by the way, 94.7 FM will be carrying the games in the T20 World Cup. We want to compliment them for coming on board. So it's important to let all of our viewers know that, of course, if you can't see it, you can hear it. And it's going to be on 94.7 FM, thanks to Derry Bowen and her wonderful team there. On your screen, we've got the manager of the Wildy side, young Clinton Hill, and we've also got someone who has actually played for Barbados
and
on your screen, and the West Indies as well.
Akeem Jordan.
Akeem Jordan is very much there as well.
Maynard.
And Carlos Maynard. So they're very much there. We saw them moments ago. Now, let's look in terms of the construct of the side. Ashley Nurse, Rivaldo Clark. We got the Peas in there. Shamaria and Javonte, Martin Nurse, Jamar Eiffel, Roshan Worrell, Matthew Jones, left arm spinner, very, very effective. Corey Miller. And then we come down to Anton Lucas Jones, who's in there. Kemar Hart, an underrated cricketer. And we've also got Stefan Griffith, who's not bad as a bowler at all. And Devon Phillips very much. In fact, is a very, very big squad. It's almost as if they're, in fact, touring. So that's the combination in relation to the Wildy side and make that Gladiola. And in terms of Wildy, you got Carlos Maynard, Tariq O'Neill, former Barbados under-19 cricketer. Nemar Bolden is in there as well. You got Zachary McCaskey, Shane Paris, Craigson Hill, Jerome Jones, who would have played for the Barbados under-19 and the West Indies under-19 as well. Jaden Leacock would have played under-19 cricket. Jaden Roberts as well. Desmond Currency, a very, very tight ball as well. Akeem Jordan would have had the opportunity to play for the West Indies. And, of course, Demetrius Richards, who made his debut for the Barbados team in the recently concluded regional competition. As I said, statistician Harold Eastman is with me. The road to the finals. Let's start with maybe not your favorite side. I know you're a Parkite. How did Wildy make it to the finals?
Well, what I can say to you first, before I go into that, Andrew, is that earlier this year, at the beginning of the year, there was a final between Gladiola and Wildy, played here in the 50 over Super Cup, and Gladiola also won that. Mm-hmm. So so we could always, so they're also the 50 over champions, not only the T20 champions. So this would mean that this is a bit of a grudge match. Wildy, I think they made a mistake that day in sending Gladiola into bat first, because their strength is normally batting first, Wildy, and they sent Gladiola in on that day, and it didn't work out, because on the way to the final, right, Wildy have actually played unbeaten. They won by 9 runs over Police, by a massive 106 runs at this ground against Walker's Reserve Isolation Cavaliers. They defeated Fujian Petit Spartan by 8 runs, won by 6 wickets against Wanderers. Their last preliminary game was against Pickwick, which was a tie game, and ended up winning that game in the super over. And then in the semi-final, they played against Carlton and won by 34 runs. The highest score for the tournament so far was actually at this same ground, and became the Oval in Lakes, St Andrew, when they made 206 for 8 in the 20 overs against Walker's Reserve Isolation Cavaliers, and their lowest total was 153 for 4 versus Pickwick. In this tournament, the batsmen have been doing really, really well. With Geoffrey Archer being the top batsman, he played in 6 games and made 269 runs, including his last 3 innings were three unbeaten half centuries, where he scored. I'm just looking at that. He scored 81 not out against Wanderers. He scored 54 not out against Pickwick, and in the semi-final he scored another 51 not out against Carlton. And as most of us might know, is that he's not in this squad today, so he'll be sorely missed, not only for his batting, but actually for his explosive fast bowling, because he actually played for England this afternoon at Edgbaston in Birmingham against Pakistan, a game that England won. So going down the line, Shane Parris, the opener, scored 236 runs. Nemar Bolden, the left-hander, who has a tremendous future, he made 168 runs. The captain, Carlos Maynard, was involved in 3 unbeaten partnerships with Geoffrey Archer, and he ended on 122 runs. And then Craigson Hill, the other opener, scored 105 runs. The leading bowler has been Jerome Jones, who's taken 9 wickets from the 6 matches. And along with him, Desmond Currency, the left-arm spinner, he's taken 8 wickets also from 6 matches. And the leading scores have come from Nemar Bolden. He scored 82 not out against Spartan. Geoffrey Archer, 81 not out against Wanderers. Shane Parris scored 67 and 59 against Spartan and Isolation Cavaliers. Carlos Braffett, all of us know Carlos Braffett scored 58 against Isolation Cavaliers. And then also scoring a half century was Geoffrey Archer, who scored 54 not out in both innings against Pickwick and Carlton.
Wonderful.
So that's the story on Wildy.
Okay, just before you go to Superb Blend Gladiola, I just want to let our viewers know that we've got a Hilux package. We'll bring it to you pretty soon. Of course, last week we'd have had the finals of the Shield competition contested at Friendship. with the Christchurch Foundation side playing against Malvern. So stay tuned for that. We'll be bringing that to you pretty soon. But just before we do that, let's have some information as far as Gladiola concerned.
Well, Gladiola didn't get off to a very good start to the tournament. They lost their first game by 5 wickets versus Carlton. They won against, and they've won pretty convincingly since then. They won by 9 wickets over the BDF, 8 wickets over UWI, 4 wickets over Empire. They won by 10 wickets over Signia Globe Financial BCA Youth. And in the semi-final, they had a very, very narrow victory against Maple.
Just want to break in here. The umpires are making an inspection. Jonathan Blades is with Shamar Boyce, and the 3 officials are there. Sherwin Codrington is in the middle, and Shamar Boyce is very much there as well, along with Jonathan Blades, who's had the experience of being a first-class umpire. He is on the screen on your left. So they're done an inspection, and let's get back to you.
Yeah, just a word on Shamar Boyce, though. I think we should highlight him. He's a young man from the north of the island, and he's a St. Lucie man, and he has come around in leaps and bounds in the umpiring fraternity over the last 2 to 3 years. He's a fine young umpire, and this is one of the reasons why he's here during the final. And good luck to him.
It's interesting that you talk about Shamar Boyce, because when you speak to him, he always talks about making umpiring a career.
Oh, yes.
It's very interesting. And by the way, umpires are not played badly, and we want also to congratulate our own. I mean, he's just been involved in 50 games at the T20 level.
He celebrated his 50th this afternoon. That is Gregory Braffett.
Gregory Braffett,
yes.
Of course.
Yes.
We gotta celebrate him from there and from far. And these umpires are taken care of very well by the ICC. So Shamar Boyce, who's doing the finals today with Jonathan Blades, he is looking to make umpiring a career.
Although Andrew, as you raised that, I must also say this. I think because I'm actually a qualified umpire. Mm-hmm. Although I don't.
Have you retired, Harold?
No. I'm a qualified umpire, but I don't actually go on the field as
I see.
Like how these guys do. But a pet peeve coming out of the World Cup, if there's one negative coming out of the World Cup, is that the West Indies will only have one representative on the Empire Elite on the panel, and that's John Wilson. Mm-hmm. And that's very, very disappointing for the Caribbean region, mm-hmm. because we in the Caribbean take umpiring very serious.
Right.
Especially,
and we got good umpires as well. Very good umpires.
Especially the Barbados Cricket Umpires Association. There's a lot of work is done, a lot of training is done, and it's really sad that in our backyard we can only have one guy representing us at the World Cup.
Just before you continue with those stats, let me just remind all of our viewers that the umpires are making an inspection. The covers are off the square, and we are hoping to get some action pretty soon indeed. In fact, this held up quite nicely. There's no sunshine at the moment, but I imagine that if we continue like this, we could possibly get some play. So you can continue with those stats in relation to Superb Blend Gladiola.
Yeah, well, there's one thing about the conditions, Andrew. We're going to it just now. Is that you can actually feel the heat. There's a lot of heat, and it's really that heat and a lack of wind that is actually causing the condensation. Mm-hmm. All right, on to Gladiola. Gladiola leading scorers in the tournament. Their leading scorer has been Rivaldo Clark, who has scored 160 runs. Martin Nurse has scored 155 runs. That's the veteran. And their leading wicket taker has been Matthew Jones, who's taken 21 wickets from 6 matches. He's really been the top bowler in the tournament so far, and he's been supported by Giovanni De Pisa, who's taken 10 wickets. Matthew Jones has really bowled well in the tournament. He has 4 for 15 versus Signia Globe Financial BCA Youth, 4 for 20 versus Empire, 4 for 27 versus UWI, and also 3 for 33 versus Maple in the semi-final. He's been their leading bowler.
All right, so thanks very much indeed, Harold. It's been wonderful. We've spoken to Stephen Leslie, the manager of marketing and communications of the Barbados Cricket Association, doing a wonderful job, very much on his very expensive cell phone there as we look out to our right. The conditions here are pretty okay now. No sunshine at the moment, but there's hope that we can get some play. Of course, we're talking about the finals scheduled for the KMV Oval on the east coast of Barbados in St. Andrew, and the 2 finalists, Superb Blend Gladiola and Wildy. Now, what we're going to do with the umpires making an inspection, remember last week we had Foundation up against Malvern, the Christchurch Foundation team up against Malvern. That game was contested at Friendship. Let's go and check out the highlights.
And we'll get the first boundary. Not the best shot they do see, but it was effective. Now that's a lovely shot. Very well played. Down behind square. That's going for a boundary. More runs. Another boundary. Aerial but safe. That's going down to long off. Oh, what a delivery. Beautifully bowled indeed. The keeper could not hang on, but certainly the field at first slip. And the first wicket for Malvern, and it was a peach of a delivery. Oh, that's very well played. It was in the air, but had a lot of power on that. Square leg, had a chance, went behind him, that's gone.
Yeah, I need to get
So here's the captain of the Malvern side to continue. That's gone a long way. That's gone a long, long way. That's gone for 6 over the square leg area. More runs. That's gone down to backward square. That's gone for 4. The foundation team for quite a long time. That's gone square. That's gone for 6. What a shot. What a shot by Joshua Dorn. No, he could be in trouble here. Is he gone? He is. That's a waste of a wicket.
With a free hit or shot.
Now where's that gone? What a shot. Without the legs to get there. That's gone down to wide long on. Another boundary. And he's been given leg before. Playing slightly across it. The umpire had a long look at that. And gave it. No, he's going to be safe. And we get a boundary. A welcome boundary for the foundation side. That's gone down to square leg. That's gone for 4. No chance for a catch here. The catch is taken. And that's the big, big, big snapper. It was a rank long hop, really. No, that's a good hit. That's a welcome maximum. That's a very good achievement. That's a poor delivery. Dealt with in the appropriate manner. And we have the legs to get there. It goes away. That's gone to the boundary. Well, that's a massive hit by a massive man. Power, power, and more power. Chance for catch. Catch taken. Now that's an important boundary.
That needs to play against the first division sides.
Now that's hit with tremendous power. What a shot by Nemo Win. Oh, that only too well. Now here he goes again. And another boundary by Win. Powerfully. And he goes again. And more runs. Another 6.
A repeat, Andrew.
Now that's a big hit. Now that's a big hit. That's gone. Onto the mound on the far side of the ground. That's an important hit. Finding the gap. That's gone for another boundary. And what a comeback by Foundation. Thanks to their masters who've come to the party here with Davis 39, McCollin an important 31, but here we go in terms of Doughty making some 43 from 32 balls. A very important performance from him, but Nehemiah Win, 22 from 14, including 3 sixes, ensured that at the end of over number 20, Foundation, they've got a decent score, 175 for 5. So here we go with the first ball. And a boundary, up and over. Big, strong man he is. And he goes down the grounds for another boundary. Wow! Wow! Over but off. Wide long off really. And that was it again with a lot of power. He's gone. Big wicket to get. And he was deceived by the extra pace generated by Bourne.
Join the game once again.
Sold him. Fantastic delivery by Bourne. And Foundation celebrating again. Some 3 wickets for 19 runs. But this has been a good performance. What a shot. What a shot to get off the mark forward. Punch through cover in spectacular fashion. Where has that come from? It's gone past the keeper and will get to the boundary. Wonderful ladies just joined us. That's a lovely shot. That perhaps is the shot of the day. Well, he certainly does. He gets a boundary to a wicket. And more runs again. That's gone to the boundary. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. What a shot. Well, he may be safe here. I think he's going to be safe. Or is he not? Brilliant catch taken by the keeper. I thought he was safe. I was wrong. Oh, wow. 2 fielders slamming into each other. No communications at all. Let's hope they're all right. No, there's a chance for a catch. Now, will the keeper, what's happening there? Oh! Indecision. Poor delivery and put away. Going for 6. Rank long hop by Dorn. So the 100 beckons here. Now what is that all about? Another poor delivery by Dorn and really put away quite nicely.
Shot.
Oh, that's very well played indeed. That is the top shot. That's ball the over. Well, chance for a catch that's going to go away. It's gone for 6. But he didn't do that. No, that's peeled off the outside there. That's gone square in the offside for 4. This could be a big ball. Where he gets the boundary. Pierces the offside.
5.
No, that's gone a long way. It's going to head out towards the boundary and we'll get there. He was offline, Newton, and punished.
Shot.
Oh, that's been put away with a washpan of disdain. Past the keeper. More runs. 4. That's very well played indeed. That's gone for 4.
Other than just work the ball. Shot.
What a shot. Down to backward square. That's going on to the mound. That's going for 4.
Shot. Shot.
What a shot.
Shot.
4 more. There you have it. A push away. Down to third man. And Malvern are the winners. And what a performance from them. Ford and Miller coming together and winning the game for the team from St. George South.
Malvern side. That actually happened last week, but we're very much here at the KMV Oval on the east coast of Barbados, St. Andrew, and things are looking a lot better, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I'm Andrew Mason, and we are in fact here not only streaming this game, but it's on television. We want to thank our partners, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. They're very much involved in this project, and we hope that there are many more games that we're going to be streaming a little bit later on, and of course bringing on television. The action is certainly very much with us, and we are hoping to get some cricket going pretty soon indeed. But we've got Andy Payne with us. Andy, you are very much a part of the commentary team. You had a chance to go on the outfield. What did you see?
Yes, Andrew, good afternoon to all of yours. Yes, I had a look at the outfield. I think we're going to have a word with the umpires out there as well, Andrew. But what I can tell you that the main concern is just the the playing surface is good, but the surrounding on the grounds, they got a little bit of concern of that. Some wet areas that they just need to get a little bit of work done on. So I think we've got some interview over there with one of the umpires.
Yeah, in fact, what we're going to do, we're going to join Stephen Leslie, who is very much there. He's got one of the umpires, in fact, Jonathan Blades. Let's go and join that interview.
Gladiola and the Wildy side. Jonathan, from the rain that fell, these covers have been removed. Can you give us an update on how things are looking at the moment?
Well, so far we have no issues with the pitch. It has been covered pretty well. We have some areas of concern, however, on certain parts of the outfield, especially close to the square. So we'll give that some time to dry out. We do an inspection probably like 3:15 to see what is going out, and then from there we decide what's going to happen.
Well, Jonathan, you have a lot of experience. You've done first class cricket. You've done cricket all throughout the region. There's a local final. You know, like sometimes we want things at a particular standard, which you must maintain, obviously, the safety of players. But that inspection that you do just after 3, the weather's cleared up. Hopefully, what are your general feelings about how things could turn out when you do that inspection?
Actually, I'm very positive that things will turn out well. So far, it seems to be drying out pretty well. Like I said, against that soggy area, we are still concerned about the safety. But hopefully by 3:15, with the weather remaining as it is, we should let the wicket play. I can't say what time, how many overs is yet, but hopefully after 3:15, we can tell you that.
And if I'm correct, my information is that when it comes to these local T20 games, you use the rules of a minimum of 5 overs to constitute a match. I believe that once that is, possible, that we will get it. But again, we are in the parish of St. Andrew. Jonathan, you've done a lot of local cricket as well. Your interaction experience for the games that you would have done this year, how have you found the T20 competition for 2024?
Actually, I found it pretty competitive. We have a lot of teams that come close to winning. Some that, even the school teams, they've been doing pretty well. But when I watched the 2 finals, they played and the Shield, and except for the play that seems one-sided, it was a pretty good final at the Shield as well. And I think that for this cup final and the preliminary rounds, it has been really tight, and it's going to be a very good competition. And so far, I think it's going to be a very good final once we get play.
Well, thank you, Jonathan. So the word is here from the KMV Oval that there will be an inspection just after 3. We are hopeful with the fact that the rain has stopped, that we will get some cricket. It's the BCA T20 cricket final. Superb Glen Gladiola up against the Wildy, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you some cricket very shortly.
So thanks to you, Stephen Leslie. Wonderful job. Talking to one of the umpires, Jonathan Blades. In fact, he's going to be joined, if we do in fact get cricket, Shamar Boyce, very young umpire, age 21, and he wants to make umpiring a career. Now, just before we went to that interview, we've got Andy Payne, a former Maple cricketer. Good to see that Maple went very, very close in this competition. In fact, he was just nipped up by superb Glen Gladiola, and it's really good to see the revival of Maple cricket. But we were looking at your visit to the middle. Is it looking as if we're going to get some cricket pretty soon? Can you tell me?
Yes, Andrew. I think we could get some play over there. I wasn't privy to hear the conversation between Stephen and Jonathan, but like I said, the playing area is good. It's just off the square. There's just some concerns of a little wet area there or thereabout. But outside of that, everything else is good. The general outfield seems to be in good condition, Andrew Mason, and I think just that one particular area where they have.
What's your guts feeling, Andy Payne? Do you think we're going to get cricket? Tell me.
I think we'll get a bit of play.
Is it touch and go?
It's touch and go. It's touch and go, yeah.
All right. So what specific areas will be of concern?
Yeah. So just off the playing surface, they're on one of the adjoining pitches. There's just some areas of wet. The area where it wasn't well prepared in terms of it's just a transition between the pitch and the square.
Right.
Yes.
Have you ever played here at this ground?
I played some games here, Andrew. A very nice place to play cricket down here at the KMV Oval. A very nice wicket, always a clay base, and the outfield is always well manicured and pretty quick.
Well, the first time I visited this ground would have been a couple of years ago. In fact, Jacob Bettel, as you know, playing for the England side now at the youth level. I remember it could be possibly 5-10 years ago, maybe a little bit more than that. And I visited the ground for the first time. In fact, the Barbados Cricket Association did, in fact, at that stage, stream the game. And I was blown away by what I saw. I like this ground. I want those in authority to invest in this ground. The pavilion needs some work. It needs more than a quarter pane. In fact, it needs, as we were saying, Beijing Paralance pushing down. And it's a wonderful facility. And I recommend quite strongly that an investment be made in this ground, because I think it could be a very good first-class venue, and the pitch is also a good cricket pitch.
It's always a very good pitch down here, like I said. You know Kevin Vaughan, he's the head curator here, and you had some words with him. Kevin, as you said, he would have received an award at the last
national award recently, and he deserves it.
And he deserved it for the work that he does over here. But he's been having some conversations with the Prime Minister, and I think that she would have been in a position where she said to Kevin at some point, they will definitely have a look at the pavilion area, and rightfully so. I think they deserve it, Andrew, because with what they have over here, if you look into the hills there, you see if you can see those views over there.
Yes,
I mean, it's
right on the East Coast, the Ermeybourne Highway.
Yeah.
I'd say if you leave here in about less than 5 minutes, you're there. And it's I mean, St Andrews is breathtaking. There's no doubt about that.
Very scenic.
He's had words with the Prime Minister.
Yep.
She said, give me the vote and watch me. So I imagine that we're going to be getting some action here. But I do really feel that this is the kind of venue that you can invest in. I love the venue. In fact, I want to say to everyone that the KMV Oval is one of my favorite places to come for cricket. I just love this actual venue. Now, let's talk about the competition. The two teams that have gotten to the finals, Superb Blend, Gladiola, they're the defending champions up against Wildy. Wildy would have been bolstered with the inclusion of someone like a Joffa Archer, and of course Carlos Brathwaite, very much involved as well. Do you think the two best teams really came through to be in the finals?
I would say that, I mean, Maple close there as well. But yeah, if you follow the domestic competitions over the last couple of seasons, these two teams would have been the standout teams. I mean, they're being to the 50-over final earlier this year as well, as we spoke. They played here as well. So these two teams, their track record shows that they're two of the more prominent teams in the Division 1 on the elite competition.
I want to spend some time, Andy Payne, on Maple. Now, it is very sad that the country teams are no longer involved at the elite level. My side, St. Catherine's, got demoted 2 or 3 years ago. You might have been demoted maybe 5 years ago. You're on the west, I'm on the east, and it's really disappointing that has happened. But I've seen a revival at Maple. Tell us about that revival.
Oh yeah, Andrew, it's a revival and it's a work in progress, as we say. But one thing that was good from the beginning of this season is that we start to attract some numbers. So if you attract numbers, the selection policies become a bit different, you know, so you could lose a player here if he's not performing, you can bring someone up. And I think they were having challenges in that aspect previously. There weren't enough numbers to add and subtract from. But what we also done, the inclusion of lights at Trents.
Right, that's important.
It's very important. I mean, albeit we can do with a bit more of improvement there, but it allows us to practice a little bit later. So some of the guys who would have challenges of getting away from work early in the evening, they can now come to the club and still get themselves a session in, and that's very important to what we've seen going on at Maple presently.
And I know that you've come back to the club. You would have been an important cog in their wheel a couple of years ago. I know with interest that Jabbar Griffith, who, when I first saw him, in fact, could have been maybe 15, 20 years ago, playing, I think, would have been for the Combined Schools South at the time. Maybe North. I'm not quite sure. The North. He made 100 against Wanderers, and I thought he would have gone on to represented the Barbados side. Good left arm spinner, excellent fielder, and a very dangerous batsman. He's come back to play, very, very fit indeed, and I know that you are very much involved. I know Sayaka, the world's greatest analyst. I mean, if you know Sayaka, we call him Sai Nurse. He's involved as well. And it's good to see Emerson Jordan has come back as well. I know that people like Don O'Neill are very much involved. So that committee has come together and things are happening at Maple.
Yeah, pre-season, Andrew, we would have decided that we had a select number of players and persons that have been around the club for some time. And we had a good chat pre-season as to where we would like to see the club go and what we would like to do to help the club get to that position. And along with Coach Hendy Bryan, we decided to say, look, this is what we think we need to do and where we need to bring the club up to. And again, with Jamar Griffith, we thought with his kind of personality and his presence, he would be a good leader for the younger players going forward. And so far, he stood up. He took them to the final. But yes, we had to put some work in place. So we're working towards a structure now where we know where we're going to take the club, say, go on to the next 2-3 years, Andrew.
Are you a director of cricket at Maple? Because you got here. Have a look here. Have a look, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting. Don O'Neill is congratulating you. Emerson Jordan, the former Barbados fast bowler, is complimenting you. So you're the director of cricket at Maple. That's wonderful. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, it's a role that we thought someone had to do it, where we know the structures of cricket, what we want to do in terms of leading the club's revival, and just with a little bit of expertise, I just thought that it's a role that I can play and lead some support to the coach and take some of that burden off of him and deal with the players on the 1.1 level.
I also note with interest, by the way, there's no cricket. We want to let you know. We want to congratulate, of course, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. This is live on TV, so thousands viewing this. We really want to thank you for coming and being very much a part of this. There's no cricket at the moment. In fact, the covers are off the square. One or two concerns about some seepage as far as the cover is concerned, but we're wishing and hoping that we could very well get some cricket. The scheduled finals in the T20 Cup competition, Superb Blend Gladiola up against Wildy, and it's at the KMV Oval. And of course, you're talking about St. Andrew, a beautiful parish, and on the east coast of this wonderful, wonderful parish, we're hoping to get some cricket at KMV Oval. I know the drainage here is very, very good indeed. And as I speak to you, the players are very much on the outfield, playing a bit of football. And there is the hope that we could very well get some cricket in this final, the T20 finals between Superb Blend Gladiola and Wildy, contested here, hopefully, at the KMV Oval. Now, we're talking to Andy Payne, who would have represented Maple in what, in the 80s, 90s?
90s
you
and
still look
early
young.
2000s, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's very much a part of the team.
Yes.
And you're doing a pretty good job. Do you like this job? I know you started recently. How did you get into it, though, in terms of doing commentary?
This is by Mr. Andrew. As you know, I will reach out to you, and I said I happened to be in Trinidad playing a golf tournament, and one of your good mates, Vinod Manchan and Vidya Ramphal, they just asked me how would I like to come into their commentary team and add a fresh voice for the Trinidadian public. We were doing the CG 50s, the original 50 over competition, and I got there, and they gave me the opportunity, and they says this must be something that you do.
And there's no sweat in your brow. So you're not nervous. You're not nervous. Yeah, indeed.
So I got there and I gave commentary, and next thing you know, Vinod, he was calling me to.
Yes, and you've done a wonderful job. And I'll tell you that we welcome you. We want to thank Stephen Leslie as well. I sing his praises because I think he's done a wonderful job, understanding the importance of communication. And I'm sure it's really made the Barbados Cricket Association proud. And we are very happy to have you on our commentary team, and we wish you well. I want to thank you for coming and talking to us. So what we're going to do, we're going to be having an interview with the manager of the Superb Blend Gladiola's team in just a minute. But we want to thank you for coming and talking to us.
A pleasure, Andrew. And thank to you. I must make mention as well to Stephen and Pedro Graves, who's one of the directors of the Barbados Cricket Association. They thought it was, seeing what they have seen and heard, that I should have been on this team, and you yourself.
Yes,
pretty much.
Well, you've got my support. And I mark hard.
Thank you.
I mark hard indeed, and I think you're doing a wonderful job. Don't go too far, because we're going to have you pretty soon indeed. So thanks for coming through, and we're just going to make way. But in the meantime, we're wishing and hoping, as I said earlier, like Dusty Springfield, hope urges on and tells us tomorrow will be better, that we may very well get some cricket here at the KMV Oval on the East Coast. We're talking St. Andrew, the final schedule, the T20 Cup competition. Of course, we're talking Superb Blend Gladiola and Wildy. Those are the teams involved in this finals, and we're really hoping that we can actually get some cricket pretty soon indeed. Once again, it was scheduled to start at 2 o'clock, but because of driving rains this morning and again, very much today, the start has actually been delayed, and we are hoping very much indeed to have some cricket. In fact, I've been told that you're not actually the manager of the side. Nice to see you, Lana. You're the president of the club, and it's a great pleasure to have you. You're looking as young as ever. How are you, Lana? Are you well? Your smile is as broad as Gladiola. All right. Now talk to me. You're here at the finals, no doubt looking to win this final. You're the defending champions. How's it gone so far in the competition?
Well, I would say it's rough. Sometimes you get practice, sometimes you don't get practice, the rains and stuff like that, but we have meshed together and we're hoping to do the double.
Indeed. Indeed, you would want to try and do the double. You said that practice sessions have been pretty difficult, and I understand that. Of course, at the moment, we don't have a lot of cricket being played. How difficult it has been to practice at your grounds and Rice's?
Well, with the restraints of people having to work and stuff like that, then we had the lights and stuff like that. So you usually get practice like after 6 or stuff like that.
Right.
And then we were supposed to have a practice session at the Oval on Thursday, which didn't materialize because of the rain.
Right.
But all in all, we're okay.
You're okay.
Yes.
And you've come here, if there's any play to win this. You're the defending champions. You've got a very good side. In fact, when I look at the construct of your side, there's a gentleman called Ashley Nurse. Are you related?
He's my son.
And Rivaldo Clark.
He's my nephew.
Okay, so you've got tremendous interest. You must feel good as a parent, as a mother, to have someone like an Ashley Nurse, a former West Indies cricketer, to be very much a part of your family and your son. You must be happy.
Definitely.
Indeed. And Rivaldo Clark, very much in the family as well. What part of Barbados are you from?
I'm from St. John.
What part of St. John?
Wilson Hill.
Wilson Hill. Well, that's interesting. You talk about Wilson Hill. Isn't that the area that they're wonderful singers? There used to be the Wilson Hill Singers or something.
Yes.
Okay. Does that group still exist?
I think so. I'm not really sure, but I think so.
Right, Wilson Hill, because I remember they were absolutely brilliant. But when we look at the construct of your side, Martin Nurse is also involved. Is he related as well, Martin?
I am not 100% sure, but he's a nurse, so he probably is.
And they're saying that all the nurses are very much related. But you've got a good side. Jamar Eiffel, Javonda De Pisa would have played for the West Indies under 19 side.
Along with Rivaldo.
Yeah, and Matthew Jones.
Yes.
He's come over from Carlton, good left arm spinner.
Yes.
So you've got a pretty powerful side, Lana.
Yes.
Indeed. And Corey Miller's in there as well. You got Kemar Hart, an underrated cricketer.
Yeah.
Of course, Jaden Lord as well. And Stephon Griffith has come to the club recently, but looking pretty good indeed. Do you think you've got the side to win this?
Well, yes. We did it last year. And we're looking to do it again this year.
Indeed.
If there's any play.
If there's any play. Did you get a chance to go on the outfield and look at the pitch?
Not really.
Not really indeed. All right. Now, let's talk quickly World Cup. Are you going to be taking into the World Cup matches, Lana?
Not really.
No? Well, how come?
I'm glad that it's here, but I don't think I'll be going to the World Cup games.
How come? Why are you not going? Is it too expensive?
The finals is here,
right.
And it's sold out. So
it's sold out. The finals are sold out as well.
Yes.
Right. But you're very much involved in the cricket. There's no doubt about that. In terms of ensuring that you are there every Saturday, very much involved. Your son is playing. You got Rivaldo Clark, who's very closely related to you.
And Jaden Hoyt, he's also my nephew too.
Oh, Jaden Hoyt is your nephew as well?
My sister's son.
Okay, and from St. John as well?
Well, he was born in St. Michael.
Okay. But you still have your roots. You don't live in St. John anymore, but
no,
you still got
I
your
don't.
roots. Wilson Hill, a wonderful place. Lana, I want to thank you for coming through and talking to us. It's an absolute pleasure to have you, and we wish you well. If there's any cricket at the KMV Oval, you are, of course, back in a side, superb blend, Gladiola. Good to see some sponsorship coming through, because as president of the club, it must be very, very difficult. I mean, clubs don't make a lot of money, so it's good to see that you've got some sponsorship.
Yes, and I want to say thanks to our sponsors, and they're always there for us. And it propels you to do a lot of more things when you have that sponsorship going. You know, because as you know, subs don't always, you know,
Come through, yeah.
come
Yeah,
through.
uh-huh.
And a lot of players don't like to play subs.
No, they
and
don't.
stuff
They
like
don't.
that.
I can tell you because I'm at St. Catherine's, and in
But-
fact, last year we had actually to get together
But we have
and
a s-
ensure that people actually pay their subs. It's
Yeah,
not
but
easy.
we have a structure in place though,
Right.
so everybody's okay.
Right, okay.
Right now.
Lana, I want to thank you. Good to see you as well, looking as young as ever. Take me to Wilson Hill. I like Wilson Hill. But by the way, my father was actually born in St. John. He's a Martins Bay man. He's gone to the great beyond now. So I've got interest in St. John. It's a wonderful parish, and they've produced some wonderful people like Lana. You are very much involved with the club at Gladiola, and Lana Nurse, the president of the club. Thanks for coming and talking to us.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, so there you have it. Lana Nurse, the president of the club, coming to speak to us. Let me tell you that the covers are off the square, as you can see, and there's hope that we can get some cricket. There was an inspection done, and that inspection was done about half an hour ago. In fact, early this morning, I got up to some rain when I was doing my early morning jog. And when I was driving down, lovely, lovely scenic drive to come from St. James right through to St. Peter and then on to St. Andrew. And we are at lakes in St. Andrew on the east coast of Barbados. And we are not at the moment having any cricket. But the players are very much on the field. They're warming up and they're wishing and hoping that we can get some action. We heard from Lana Nurse, who, of course, is very much the president of the Supreme Gladiola Club. And she came and spoke to us. Now, in the interest of balance, it's always good to have balance. And we've got Dale Callender, who is very much in the courts of the Wildy side. Hello, Dale. Nice to see you. Are you the manager? I just want to get your title right. You're the manager.
I'm the manager.
Yeah. I just want to be sure because by then you might have been elevated to the president. You know, you're moving man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we keeping the management team in place so far, so
Indeed.
I'm still the manager.
The road to the finals will be, it's a strong side. There's no question about that. When you would have had people like Carlos Brathwaite, Tariq O'Neill, Namar Bolden, a good cricketer, Zachary McCaskey, Shane Paris, and earlier you would have had someone, a Joffa Archer in your side. Will be very powerful indeed, Dale.
Yes, indeed. But we still have them. Some are not playing today. In fact, Joffa has sent his wishes all of yesterday and last night. He let them know clearly he's watching the game today and that he will be celebrating with them as soon as he gets back.
Indeed. Where's Joffa now?
He's playing in Pakistan. He's
in
playing
Pakistan?
England versus Pakistan.
Yeah, England versus Pakistan.
Yeah.
You miss him, don't you?
Well, of course it does, of course. He brings something else to the game. He brings a professional outlook, even when the way he approaches the field and the way he interacts in the dressing room and so on. And he's been with us all these years, so we will miss him.
Yeah, we were trying to steal him from St. Catherine's, but we were unsuccessful. I remember Telly Payne, who's now gone to the great beyond Felston Payne, said, we got the young man. But he, in fact, went to play for you, and he's done very well. In terms of his impact in this competition, Dale, it's been tremendous. Harold Eastman, the statistician, said he had 3 consecutive 50s, and then in a tight game, unbeaten as well, in a tight game against Pickwick, that super over, he was absolutely superb with his bowling. Brilliant.
Yeah, and that was good because he himself wanted to bowl the super over. You know, he asked for it. He was eager to bowl it, and he got up there quickly. His impact has been good. And what we saw really too is that as the competition got older, Joffa got stronger. He really he built up to it, but you can see that he was fully fit by that time and he got stronger.
Yeah, and for some of the matches you also had Carlos Brathwaite as well. Carlos Miller's in your side.
Yeah.
We had Carlos Brathwaite.
Yeah, we had Carlos.
A tremendous impact as well.
Yeah, tremendous impact. We expected him to be here for the final, but he's doing duty elsewhere. But we have the personnel to do the job.
Well, Akeem Jordan would have had the pledge of playing for the West Indies.
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
yeah.
but your side is a strong one. In fact, I spoke about it. Your players are very much warming up. We hope to get some cricket here at the KMV Oval. I like the name, of course, on the east coast of Barbados, St. Andrew. Lakes St. Andrew. By the way, do you have any land in this area, Dale? I know you've got land all over Barbados. No land? The land is pretty expensive, you know.
Yeah,
it's quality land.
Yeah, let's skip that one. let's skip that one, you know.
But Harold Eastman.
I hear Harold Eastman. No, don't pay him no
Don't
attention
pay
on
him
that.
that.
Don't pay
No,
attention.
not at all.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want us to tell the whole world that you actually sold Harold some land.
Something now, oh dear. Well, I ain't know what he want us to do. That sounds like you want him to do it, not him. That doesn't sound like Harold.
Wonderful indeed. But the construct of your side is wonderful. You got, Tariq O'Neill. Tell us a bit about this young man. He is an under-19 cricketer, and certainly he's a good cricketer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a good cricketer. He's played in the under-19 team. He has been with us now for he has been with us for about 3 years, and he's improving. He still has a lot to work to do, a lot to learn, but he's going well.
Indeed.
Well, yeah.
Right, and of course you've got Jaden Leacock. He's a former Barbados under-19 cricketer as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, he will miss today's game based on the combination of players that we want. He will miss today's game.
What do you mean by that? He's been dropped?
No.
He just can't make the 11.
Well, yes, not today because the combination we want.
Yes.
We definitely want today. We wanted 3 spinners.
Right.
So
And
we
you
had
got-
to
you got
sacrifice a fast bowler for a spinner.
Right, and of course, you're on your side. I mean, when you look at someone like Jones, is he playing today, Jerome Jones?
Oh, you know that. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
an
yeah.
important cog in your wheel.
Yeah. He's a big cog in our wheel. He's a multifaceted player and multi-talented one too. So you could expect him to feature with the bat and the ball.
All right.
And you know something, when he features with the ball, he can.
If there's any cricket,
If there's
any cricket at all,
whenever there's cricket,
what would you have to do to beat your opponents?
Oh, we only have to play to our regular ability.
Right.
We've come through the preliminaries by winning all the games. Whenever we've got under pressure, we've been able to come out because we have the personnel, we have it set up to do that. And today we just have to play to our ability. And we'll come out victorious.
Well, I wish you all the success, my brother. It's always a pleasure to
Thank
see
you. Thank you.
And to hear from you.
Yeah.
And we wish your side Wildy all the best.
Thanks.
All
Thank
right,
you
so
much.
there you
Yeah.
have it. That's the manager of the Wildy side, Dale Callender, who's come to talk to us. And let me tell you once again that we're hoping the pitch being rolled, and we're really hoping that we can get some action. We should have started at 2 o'clock in the T20 finals at the cup level. Superb blend Gladiola up against Wildy, and there is hope that we could actually get some cricket pretty soon. We're going to keep this show going. Earlier, we certainly had some highlights of the Christchurch Foundation, Malvern encounter in the Shield competition, and you know what? We've got a part 2.
And we'll get the first boundary. Not the best shot they do see, but it was effective. Now that's a lovely shot. Very well played. Down behind square. That's going for a boundary. More runs. Another boundary. Aerial but safe. That's gone down to long off. Oh, what a delivery. Beautifully bowled indeed. The keeper could not hang on, but certainly the field at first step. And the first wicket for Malvern, and it was a peach of a delivery. Oh, that's very well played. It was in the air, but had a lot of power on that. Square leg, had a chance, went behind him, that's gone. So here's the captain of the Malvern side to continue. That's gone a long way. That's gone a long way. That's gone for 6 over the square leg area. More runs. That's gone down to backward square. That's gone for 4. The foundation team for quite a long time. That's gone square. That's gone for 6. What a shot. What a shot by Joshua Dorn. No, he could be in trouble here. Is he gone? He is. That's a waste of a wicket.
With the free hit. What shot?
Now, where's that gone? What a shot. Without the legs to get there. That's gone down to wide long on. Another boundary. And he's been given leg before. Playing slightly across it. The umpire had a long look at that. And gave it. No, he's going to be safe. And we get a boundary. A welcome boundary for the foundation side. That's gone down to square leg. That's gone for 4. No chance for a catch here. The catch is taken. And that's the big snapper. It was a rank long hop, really. No, that's a good hit. That's a welcome maximum. That's a very good achievement. That's a poor delivery. Dealt with in the appropriate manner. And we have the legs to get there. It goes away. That's gone to the boundary. And that's a massive hit by a massive man. Power, and more power. Chance for catch. Catch taken. Now that's an important boundary.
That needs to play against the first division sides.
Now that's hit with tremendous power. What a shot by Nemo Win. Oh, that only too well. Now here he goes again. And another boundary by Win. Powerfully. And he goes again. And more runs. Another 6.
A repeat, Andrew.
Now that's a big hit. Now that's a big hit. That's gone. Onto the mound on the far side of the ground. That's an important hit. Finding the gap. That's gone for another boundary. And what a comeback by Foundation, thanks to their masters who have come to the party here with Davis 39, McCollin an important 31, but here we go in terms of Doughty making some 43 from 32 balls. A very important performance from him, but Nehemiah Win, 22 from 14, including 3 sixes, ensured that at the end of over number 20, Foundation, they've got a decent score, 175 for 5. So here we go with the first ball. And a boundary, up and over. Big, strong man he is. And he goes down the ground for another boundary. Wow! Wow! Over but off. Wide long off, really. And that was it again with a lot of power. He's gone. Big wicket to get. And he was deceived by the extra pace generated by Bourne.
Join the game once again.
Fooled him. Fantastic delivery by Bourne. And Foundation celebrated again. Some 3 wickets for 19 runs, but this has been a good performance. What a shot. What a shot to get off the mark forward. Punch through cover in spectacular fashion. Where has that come from? It's gone past the keeper and will get to the boundary. Wonderful ladies just joined us. That's a lovely shot. That perhaps is the shot of the day. Well, he certainly does. He gets a boundary to a wicket. And more runs again. That's gone to the boundary. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. What a shot. Oh, he may be safe here. I think he's going to be safe. Or is he not? Brilliant catch taken by the keeper. I thought he was safe. I was wrong. Oh, wow. 2 fielders slamming into each other. No communications at all. Let's hope they're all right. No, there's a chance for a catch. Now, will the keeper, what's happening there? Oh! Indecision. Poor delivery and put away. Going for 6. Rank long hop by Dorn. So the 100 beckons here. Now what is that all about? Another poor delivery by Dorn and really put away quite nicely.
Shot.
Oh, that's very well played indeed. That is the top shot. That's ball the over. Well, chance for a catch that's going to go away. It's gone for 6. But he didn't do that. No, that's peeled off the outside there. That's gone square in the offside for 4. This could be a big ball. Where he gets the boundary. Pierces the offside.
5.
No, that's gone a long way. It's going to head out towards the boundary and we'll get there. He was offline, Newton, and punished.
Shot.
Oh, that's been put away with a washpan of disdain. Past the keeper. More runs. 4. That's very well played indeed. That's gone for 4.
Other than just work the ball. Shot.
What a shot. Down to backward square. That's gone onto the mound. That's gone for 4.
Shot. Shot.
What a shot.
Shot.
4 more. There you have it. A push away. Down to third man. And Malvern are the winners. And what a performance from them. Ford and Miller coming together and winning the game for the team from St. George South.
Well, of course, the celebrations very much for the Malvern side. They played extremely well in the Shield finals that would have been contested last Saturday at the Friendship Ground up against Christchurch Foundation side, and we had to show you those highlights again. We are very much at the KMV Oval. We are in St. Andrew, wonderful parish, and the news is a lot better in that for the last hour or so, no rain, but what we do have now is that it's getting overcast and there's a hint of rain in the air, and there is a suspicion. In fact, the covers are going back onto the square now, and this is most disappointing because it would appear as if that we're going to be having some struggles in relation to the finals of the T20 Cup competition. Superb blend Gladiola up against Wildy, and the umpires had an inspection half an hour ago, and we were looking as if we might have gotten some action. But it's interesting because in the last, I'd say, a couple of months, it's been very dry in this country, and people have been asking for rain. And, well, they say that when you put those stumps up, you do, in fact, get rain. It started this morning. In fact, we had a hint on Thursday where we had driving rains across the country. And, well, they say that whenever it rains in Barbados, it will certainly fall in St. Andrew. And the news is that the situation is that the rain has just started to come down here. And this represents a further delay. We're going to continue to be with you. In fact, it's getting harder and harder now. We want to thank, of course, the Barbados Cricket Association, represented by Mr. Stephen Leslie, and of course we've got the Vice President, Mr. Calvin Hope, who's going to come very soon to talk to us. And we also want to thank our friends at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, because there's a tremendous partnership, thanks to Mr. Pearson Bowen and his team, because you're seeing this live on CBC TV and very much in the stream, and we really want to thank CBC. And I said earlier, that partnership continues because way back in 1978, I remember that, CBC Radio took the bold decision at that time, without sponsorship, to carry local cricket, and that's gone on for about 46 years now, and that's really something worthy of commendation. I'm Andrew Mason, and I've been with you just before 2 o'clock, trying to set the scene and hopeful that we will actually get some cricket, but at the moment it does not look good because the covers are firmly on the square, and they came off for a while, and the news is that the rain is with us. It's not as hard as it was a couple seconds ago, but it's looking a bit doubtful. It's overcast, and the players have gone back into the pavilion. Kevin Vaughan is with me. Now, this is the man who is the heart and soul of St. Andrew. In fact, I want to compliment you. You got an award recently, the Barbados Service Star. You must be feeling very proud because the government of Barbados recognize your wonderful work here in the parish of St. Andrew. Hello, Kevin. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Mason.
Call me Andrew.
Andrew, sorry.
Right, good. Now, Vaughan is a big name in St. Andrew, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Very big name. All right. How do you feel as a young Barbadian, you'd have represented this club to gotten a national award.
It was heartwarming. The government awarded me the Barbados Service Star, and I'm still feeling on top of the moon right now.
Yeah, you must indeed. So tell us the feeling when you got that call. When did you get the call?
Actually, I was at a funeral with the Prime Minister, Mayor Marmontley.
Okay.
And she had asked me if the cabinet had contacted me. I told her no. She said, well, listen out for a call soon. And when they contacted me, they tell me about it. They tell me I have to keep it private until Independence Day. And so I said,
so in fact, you got that call. How did you feel? I mean, somebody from government is calling you to say, Kevin Vaughan, you're going to be getting a national award.
Like I said, it was all through my mind that same day, all day. And I was tempted to tell one person. I didn't even tell a soul. I just keep it. Even my mother, no one knew until Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yeah.
And of course, I saw you on television, that wonderful suit that you would have bought somewhere in Broad Street. And we want to congratulate you because you've done a tremendous job here at the KMV Oval.
Yes, it takes a lot of hard work. Even before that, in October the same year, the Barbados Labour Party, the government awarded me a Sports and Tourism Award as well too.
Okay.
So it was awarded in October and it was awarded on Independence Day. Yeah.
All right, good. What does this club mean to you, Kevin? What does this club, Isolation Cavaliers, what does it mean to you?
It's called home away from home. I spent 365 days here every year for the past 35 years. Believe it or not.
And what part of St. Andrew are you from?
I just live in the next gap. A stone throw away from Dale Richards. That's my gap over there.
And Dale Richards, of course, a former West Indies cricketer.
Yes, please.
Is he related?
No, he's not related. We're just good friends. But yeah, I'm just 3 minutes away from here.
And of course, Dale Richards is from this club. I mean, it is. You must feel extremely happy to know that someone that you know so well would have gone all the way to have played for the West Indies.
Yes,
Dale Richards.
yes. It was heartwarming. I was one of the guys back in his time. He would come here and throw down balls that he 300 and 400 balls on evenings. Me and his one. So yeah, it's heartwarming. We also had some on the 19 and on the 15 players too coming from the Isolation Cavaliers.
Okay.
You got Khalil Herbert, Vince Vaughns, Tremaine Durridge. You have the Agard brothers as well too. They play cricket here on the 13, on the 15 at the Isolation Cavaliers. So we are no strangers to producing Barbados players.
Wonderful. So what division do you play in locally?
We played first division and second division.
Okay, first division and second.
Yeah.
Do you have a difficulty at this club in attracting players? Because I know that there's some clubs in Barbados that have tremendous difficulty in attracting players. Is there a problem here at your club?
I'll be honest with you. I would say yes, because people seems to think that St. Andrews far. So yeah, but we still got some guys from St. George and St. Michael and stuff who's playing for us right now.
How have you done so far in the local competition the last 2 or so years?
Well, we did much better last year than the year before. We should have beaten St. Catherine, but they get the better of us.
Hold on, that's my team. That's my team.
I know that's your team.
I
that's
remember
why they
that
said
game very well.
Yes,
you really should have won.
Yeah. But to attract some players, it's going to be very hard. Right now, we have 2 of our best batsmen who's overseas right now. Jermaine Bulling and Shaquan Glasgow. They're all in England right now.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Now, talk about the work that you do here at this club. You got this big award, the Barbados Service Star. So you get it, of course, early in the morning, maybe go for your early morning jog like I do. So what do you do here at the club? Tell me. You're the president as well?
I'm the president, yeah.
Okay. How long have you been president?
Since 2020.
Okay.
On the pause now.
On the pause?
Yes.
Well, you know when someone is on the pause, it means that you're doing a good job. One would imagine.
Yeah.
If logic is the sense of reasoning.
Yeah. My morning starts very early. 5:15, 5:30. Every morning. Rain, fall, sunshine. And I still have my job. I work with the government, so I still got to make my way down to St. Lucie at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, you work with government. What do you do?
I work in the Ministry of Public Works.
Oh, you're in the Public Works department, huh?
So
fixing the roads of Barbados.
Fixing the roads. We made them very smooth now, leading up to World Cup next week.
Indeed.
So kudos to the government and the Ministry of Public Works. I think they've done a fantastic job in the last 6 weeks getting the roads smooth because we all were complaining. So we're doing pretty fine now.
Right.
Like I said, and after work on evenings, I head straight back to the club and start my duties all over again till night.
Right, indeed.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So do you think we're going to get into cricket today, Kevin?
Once the weather stop, you will get play. But once the rain, because we all know we don't play cricket in the rain. Once the rain keep falling, there won't be no play. But once the rain subside for 2-3 hours, we will get some play.
So when does this rain start? Early this morning?
This rain started, this morning. I guess the last hour was the most rain we had in St. Andrew for the morning.
Right.
We were just getting little ins and outs of rain, but this was the hardest for the morning, for the day.
And see. And the drainage here at the ground apparently is pretty good.
I'm going to tell you this. Between January to May, you won't find a crack at the Association Cavaliers.
Say that again. Between
January and May, you would never find a crack on the Association Cavaliers.
And why is that?
And because our outfield is a sandy knot.
Okay.
And then when you from May down to December, when it starts to rain, like now, you can, once the rain stops fall, you can start back play as soon as possible. So we got, as the Prime Minister said, we got a fantastic ground here. Dry time and wet time, you can still get play.
Indeed. Well, the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, Calvin Hope, is behind me. He's going to be joining us pretty soon. And I've said for a long time that I think that some investment should be made in this ground. I think obviously you need to get rid of the pavilion. It needs some work. More than a quarter paint, I think you need to push it down, get a wonderful pavilion here. Because I think, Kevin, you're the president of this club, the Isolation, that this is a venue that could be developed into a first-class facility.
Without a doubt, I believe it. All of the guys, both teams that went out there today, they can't believe how the wicket looks. Say it looks better than the one down at Kensington.
Right.
But I used to prepare wicket down at Kensington for the CPL a couple of years back.
Okay.
So, and Kieran Pollard telling me the wickets looks fantastic. But we were not getting the results, but I'm talking about the traders at the time. But at the end of the day, you got to put in some hard work to get out some good results.
Indeed.
And can't stop forget my guy, Mr. DeCosta Athlete, who will be here with me, who's now retired. He would assist me, but it takes a lot of hard work. If you can look around, you can see the surroundings. Got to also praise the government too for fencing, because we are
I know it with interest, because the last time we was here there was no fence,
fencing,
but you've got a fence now.
Yeah, but like you said, we just need a pavilion. We send in some work with the Sports Council. We hopefully that we will get it sometime soon.
Soon.
Yeah, if you keep pushing.
Yeah, I am going to push.
Yeah?
I know that they're going to be building a national stadium soon. I want to appeal to the Minister of Sports, the Honourable Charles Griffith, that, of course, St. John's is the neighbouring parish as well, that they need to have a focus on the KMV Oval, on the east coast of Barbados, St. Andrew Lakes, because this venue needs some work. It needs some assistance. I think that it will really make us even prouder.
And Andrew, not cross you, this ground is a sports tourism ground.
Okay.
We host, I don't want to exaggerate, between 40 teams out of the UK and other islands and annually.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
For next month, we got 3 games already, but the 11th, the 13th, and the 18th of June. So we don't just play cricket for the BCA. We do sports tourism annually.
Just before you go, does that bring in revenue to the club?
That's what keeps us going.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and I can't forget the BCA too for choosing us to host some of these games sometimes. But when you got these big games, I don't want to sound so big. You got to come to a good ground.
Yes.
Cricket is played on a good ground.
I like that.
Once I get the pavilion, though, it'll be a better ground.
I like that. When you get these big games, you got to come to a good ground.
A good ground.
And, of course, you're talking the KMV Oval.
The KMV Oval. No cracks, so we'll be good to go.
Wonderful. Kevin, I want to thank you for coming and talking to us. Of course, we're on the stream, the Barbados Cricket Association. We're live on television, thanks to our friends at CBC. And once again, getting that big award, the Barbados Service Star, you really deserve it. And I want to thank you very much indeed for coming and talking to us.
Thank you. And also got to thank the Prime Minister. Thanks and enjoy. Also going to thank the Barbados Cricket Association. That's my good friend.
All right. Mia Amon Morley.
Yeah.
She says, give me the vote and watch me. And my word, is looking that way as well. All right, we're going to be having pretty soon the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, Mr. Calvin Hope, who's going to come in speaking to us. Let me tell you once again that there's a final that is supposed to be played here, the T20 Cup competition between Superb, Blend, Gladiola, and Wildy. But we've had driving rains all day. In fact, there was some time, I'd say an hour ago, when it stopped raining, but then it's given away to more rain. And as I speak to you, the covers are very much on the square, and it is looking unlikely. I don't want to say it as if we may not get any cricket in this game. Of course, the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, Mr. Calvin Hope, is just about to join us to talk to us. I've been going for quite a long time now. Maybe it's time for me to get a little bit of a break as well. But once again, no cricket here at the KMV Oval. We are in St. Andrew on the East Coast, and this scenic, this absolutely gorgeous venue, the KMV Oval, the Isolation Cavaliers, we just heard from their president. Now, it's time to hear from the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, Mr. Calvin Hope. It's an absolute pleasure, Calvin, to have you. The last time you were on Zoom on Mason and Guest, you're with me. Just a couple meters away. Nice to see you, Calvin. Your smile is as broad as Kensington. How are you, my friend?
I am fine, Andrew.
Good. Nice to see you. Good to have you in St. Andrew. You like St. Andrew,
yes,
Calvin?
I'm always in St. Andrew. I'm always in St. Andrew. As a matter of fact, I was at Cambridge only last week.
Okay, Cambridge, yeah, wonderful.
Cambridge Bay Lounge.
Right. Now, in terms of the selection of venues, I'm interested to find out how that is done. Remember last year for the finals, we had it at Weymouth, and people were a little bit concerned, but it's a brilliant venue. In fact, over 4,000 people turned out. We were at Friendship last week. I thought we had a very good crowd turnout as well. How do you select venues for sale finals? What goes into it?
Well, first of all, let me say that the BCA's Cricket Operations Department, that's their responsibility in making recommendations to the board. And a lot of things, considerations will be going in, availability, then things like parking, space, dressing rooms, pavilion, all those things go into consideration. But the main thing, what we've adopted is a position to take cricket out to the community. And wherever possible, we think we can get a big catchment and to create an event out of the match, right? Not just having a cricket match, but you add some entertainment, you have some tents and stuff, and you make it a day out, basically.
Yeah, and I must compliment the BCA on its selections. I mean, they've been spot on. I mean, I love this venue. We had the game played here last year. I certainly love the venue at Weymouth. Yes. And indeed, Lears is a venue as well. So it's good to spread that cricket into the communities, Calvin.
Yes, there's a lot of cricket that we have. And, it's been going quite well. And it's been received marvelously. And we will continue in that vein and try to make these events even better, a better experience.
How important is cricket to Barbados?
Cricket means everything to Barbados. As I am told, I was not present, but I heard that the Prime Minister in a very important CARICOM meeting discussing cricket said that Barbados is spelled CRICKET. But as you know, the legacy of our cricket, is quite there for everyone to see, and we've produced several outstanding cricketers and famous worldwide. Not to mention, Sir Garfield Sobers' name is on everybody's lips whenever you mention cricket, and he's done us proud, and he continued the legacy from the 3Ws and those that went before the 3Ws, and but cricket brings tremendous foreign exchange to this country. Not a lot of people may be aware of that. But successive governments have invested in facilities to improve the game, pavilions across the destination, across Barbados. And as a recent ad said, the best place for a cricket fan to be is in Barbados. You know, this coming World Cup, I am pretty positive that the returns for the country will be fantastic. Anytime that there's an international tour that spends more than 1 week in Barbados, you can expect to get about $100 million invested in the economy, especially if that involves an England tour and, you know, and an event like this. So, I mean, some of the other tours, what I would say like a Zimbabwe or an Ireland, you would not get that kind of impact, but you will get foreign exchange, which we do with. And at this time, in June, this is not the tourist season. So what better time to fill some hotel beds,
right?
You know? So it's fantastic.
Fantastic. Barbados hosting the finals, not for the first time. In fact, 2007 and 2010, now 2024. So we are accustomed to that. I know that there were other countries, as I said earlier when I was speaking to Stephen Leslie, they were vying for the finals. And Barbados, we've got a history. We know how to do it. And I'm sure as a Barbadian, as Vice President of the local association, you must be extremely happy that Barbados will be hosting yet again another finals.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud. Well, you know, not just because of our cricket legacy, our cricket history, and our capacity to organize cricket and the cricket experience in Barbados, but the whole package, the people, the hospitality of the people, our tourism infrastructure, the superstructure of airport and seaport, and when you have easy access from most international destinations, all of that, along with our accommodation offer, goes into the pot there to make Barbados, when you compare with our competitors in the Caribbean, the number one choice. I mean, there's no doubt that Barbados has, I would say, the most competitive product for hosting, especially international cricket events.
Yeah, and you would know because you were very much involved at it was the Tourism Authority then, so
yes.
you must know. In terms of rooms in Barbados, approximately how many rooms do we have?
Well, we should have at least 8,000 rooms
8,000?
in Barbados by now. Yeah.
Certainly Trinidad wouldn't have that, Guyana.
Yeah,
no.
And not only that, it is the close proximity.
Right.
So, you know, you have everything is pretty close in Barbados.
Right.
So, and we have our infrastructure, including transportation, is fantastic.
Right.
You know, rent-a-cars, you know, tour buses, taxis, you know, everything is there.
What does it mean to host England?
Hosting England is always good. As I said, you know, the economic spin-off from that is huge. And hosting England, you will attract followers of England, you know, England fans. And that would have been a good choice to seek to bid for that, you know. So that was an excellent decision there.
And of course, England will be playing against New Zealand. That game is on June the 8th. That's a big game, isn't it?
Yeah, anytime that England is playing in Barbados, it's a big game. Anytime England is playing in Barbados.
Are we ready? Are we ready, like Freddie, to host the World Cup? It starts on the weekend. Are we ready? Any concerns?
We're more than ready.
Oh my God!
We're more than ready. Kensington looks fantastic. You know, I'm sure all the patrons would feel good about Kensington, and they would have a good experience there.
Well, tell us about some of the work that has been done at Kensington. You're the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association. You must be very proud. $50 million invested in the upgrade of Kensington Oval. I did, in fact, talk to Stephen about it earlier, but tell me, as Vice President, What are some of the things that were done at Kensington?
Well, the BCA was not directly involved in that. As you know, Kensington Oval developed Kensington Oval Management Inc. They were the stewards of that.
Right. This is called Comey, yeah?
Comey, yes.
Oh, Comey, uh-huh.
And the majority of work centered around upgraded bathrooms, sprucing up, painting, the Cigar Field Sobers Pavilion, some tremendous internal work has done there, some changes in ice baths and so forth. And generally making the pavilion much more comfortable for the players and officials, and the general bathrooms, facilities in the stands as well, and some painting, and then there's the temporary stand, and the new scoreboard, the lights, installing new lights. So generally, it was a major, facelift, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, indeed. And certainly, we're ready to host the T20 Finals 2024. As far as the Barbados Cricket Association is concerned, what do you expect to achieve from hosting the T20 World Cup Finals?
Well, ideally, we would want to continue the promotion of cricket to the public by having a communication program going, and generally we want our clubs and schools and have a more aggressive approach to the organization of cricket and more stakeholder engagement between the BCA and its publics.
Yeah, indeed. And a lot of money in the economy as well. And I know with interest that the Prime Minister announced that on Wednesday there's going to be a town hall meeting at Kensington. Isn't that interesting?
Well, yes. Any engagement with the public's good. I think it's a good thing. My understanding is to at least let people see what has been done at Kensington and let them have an experience this. Not everybody may be able to come to the matches because of the capacity and the demand. So I think it's an excellent opportunity for others to see the Oval.
Just before you go off, Calvin, and have a sumptuous lunch, we're going to be having very soon Leonard Jones, marketing officer in terms of, in fact, she's been very much involved, very experienced, and Shelley Ross, who of course is at the Barbados Cricket Association. We'll line that interview up very, very, very soon. What would it mean to the people of the region if the West Indies actually win this tournament? What would it mean to the people of the Caribbean?
Boy, I just can't imagine how what would erupt around the Caribbean. But it is not when. It's not if.
It's when.
It's when.
When.
I think the West Indies team is very, very competitive.
Very competitive.
They have some strengths in the batting there.
Right.
They have some big hitters down from middle to lower end of the batting.
Right.
And I think the bowling could improve.
You got a little concern about the bowling?
Well, I think it could improve.
We
have not necessarily been as penetrative or as economical and that you would like at times. But T20 cricket is strange. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
But they do have some bowlers that can do the trick for us, that can do
and they've got match winners as well. Match winners, and that's important in T20.
Very important. And I think it's the team to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, you got someone like a Russell, who is such a dangerous cricketer. The captain as well. Hatmar, I mean, he's been criticised for being in the side, but he can win the match for you. And it's really an interesting combination. So if we can win, we'll all be delighted.
And I'll tell you, this unknown quantity in T20 cricket, Joseph.
Yes. Shamar Joseph.
He could be a very key man.
He could be a key man, yes, as he was in Australia.
But if you use, he has to be used by the captain properly.
I agree. And used to be aggressive to get wickets as well. Calvin, you know your cricket.
A I
You've
played
been
it long
around,
enough.
of course, former Barbados under-19 captain. Calvin Hope, the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much for not grilling me this time.
All right, so there you have it. Calvin Hope, who, of course, is the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, and coming to talk to us. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, well, we've been here for just about 5 minutes before 2 o'clock. No cricket, and it's looking very much as if we may not have any cricket at all, given the fact that, as I speak to you, it's driving rains here at this wonderful venue. And what a day for the rain to come. But they say that if you put stumps up, you're going to get rain. The scheduled final between Superb Blend, Gladiola, and Wildy, but it's looking very unlikely as if we're not going to be getting any cricket. But the show must continue. Sherry Ross, of course, of the marketing department of the Barbados Cricket Association, she has got a very special guest.
I am here right now with Lana Jones, Marketing Officer for Cricket West Indies and the ACC Men's T20 World Cup. Lana, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure here already.
Yes, indeed. Currently, we have the 16-foot inflatable ball here, and it has been making its rounds around the island for the most part. How has it been received by the public?
No, well, Barbadians love anything that's big and fancy, right? So every time we've taken the ball somewhere, it's always been well received. We have 2 QR codes that are attached to the ball. Those of you who have seen this ball may or may not know this, but the 2 QR codes give you this interactive experience where you scan a QR code and a cricketer comes out of nowhere and knocks you for 6. And then from there you can purchase tickets, or you can visit the website, which it will show you the different match fixtures, right? So it's been very well received. Some people, don't really understand how to use it, and some others do. But for the most part, people love taking photos by it. It's a wonderful piece of branding and awareness, because you don't usually see a big 16-foot diameter ball anywhere. So it's been well received.
Yes, and the excitement is surely building here in Barbados for the World Cup. Do you have any other marketing projects coming up that the public should know about?
Oh, that's a great question. Thanks so much. So we actually have 2 cricket clinics coming up, one on June the 3rd and June the 7th, with 2 of the teams, the England team and the Scotland team. We're going to be targeting 50 young cricketers in the schools. And then also they're going to be guided in terms of batting, fielding, and bowling techniques. And then also on the 15th of June, we're going to be having a corporate social responsibility initiative, which is led by the ICC. And we are going to be having 2 10-over matches. It's going to be at Briar Hall at the Maxwell Sports Club in Briar Hall. It's going to be a fantastic day full of excitement. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to be opening the doors to everybody. So if you're interested in cricket and you want to get involved, we're targeting mothers and daughters, fathers and sons. The acronym is MADFAST. So if you're interested, bring out your family, your friends, register. It's free. You'll start seeing the communication coming out in the following days. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that is really exciting. And guys, stay tuned for more information on this.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lana,
Thanks,
so
Sherry.
much.
All right, so thanks to our very good friend Shelley Ross for doing a wonderful interview. And of course, we continue to be very much a part of this action. As you can see on the stream there, no cricket. Looks very much as if we're not going to be having any cricket at all. And I think it's about time for a round table discussion. And we've got our commentary panel here very much a part of this broadcast. And we're going to be certainly talking to them. We've been going just before 2 o'clock, and it's just about time to interview all these wonderful gentlemen. We've got Lyndon Yard, and certainly it's a pleasure to have him very much a part of this broadcast as well. And we've also got Donovan Lovell, who only retired a couple of weeks ago, and no doubt we've got the director of cricket at the Maple Club, who was with us earlier. Of course, we're talking of Andy Payne. I'm Andrew Mason, I've been working very, very hard indeed, but we have to continue the show. It's on the stream of the Barbados Cricket Association, and we want to thank our friends at the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Thanks to Mr. Pearson Bowen and his wonderful team, because there's a wonderful partnership between the Barbados Cricket Association and CBC to bring this action to our viewers. And we also want to thank, of course, Mr. Stephen Leslie. We heard earlier from the Vice President of the Barbados Cricket Association, Mr. Calvin Hope. And we're getting ready for World Cup. No doubt it's going to be on CBC as well. And we also want to inform that in terms of the radio aspect of it, because sometimes we tend to forget radio. We can, in fact, confirm that the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, 94.7 FM, will be very much a part of this action by bringing the ball-by-ball commentaries for you. So we really want to thank CBC that has been involved in cricket for quite a long time. As I said, way back in 1978. I remember at that time it was Jean Lewis, a Jamaican, who would come to Barbados, and she was the program director then. Pearson, you wouldn't know about Jean Lewis, but she was very much a part of that. And ever since then, for over 46 years, CBC has been involved in relation to the actual broadcast of cricket. So we want to compliment them for performance worthy of commendation. As I said, we've got an esteemed panel of commentators, and no action. Lyndon Yard has joined me. In fact, he was with us for the last game that we covered in the T20 Shield competition. And Lyndon, we're going to start with you. You must be a bit disappointed. It looks as if you're not going to be getting any action.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Andrew. Good afternoon to viewers. Of course, it is always a disappointment when you turn up at a cricket ground and there's no possibility of play. Not to go ahead of the umpires, but looking at the conditions thus far, the outfield looks fairly okay, but it is overcast. We've had intermittent rains off and on. Always a pleasure to be at the KMV Oval here in St. Andrews, a very picturesque ground, one of the most picturesque grounds in Barbados itself. And as I said, it's always an honor and a privilege to be here, and it is an indictment, really and truly, when you have no visible sign of water on the outfield.
Right.
And there's a possibility of, if I'm going to go ahead of the umpires who are going back onto the field with the cover still on, possibility of play looks very, very remote, and that's very sad.
Yeah, I think it's very sad. In fact, the umpires are going to be on pretty soon, but I just get the feeling that they're not going to have it. In fact, Harold Eastman was telling me that the latest we can start, Harold, you said 5 minutes to 9 minutes to 5 o'clock. For 5 over side. I don't think the teams involved, superb blend Gladiola, and of course Wildy, the Gladiola, the defending champions, who want to play. The umpires are making their way out to the middle, and it's looking as if we may not get any action, and we thought it important to have this round table discussion, and it's always a pleasure to have the commentators involved in this. We just heard from Lyndon Yard. Let's now turn our attention to Donovan Lovell. Donovan, you, as the umpires are coming out, I really think it's just a matter now of them saying, look, things are not looking good. You got Shamar Boyce, who was one of the umpires. He's to the right, and we've also got as well, no, we don't have the match referee. There's Sherwin Codrington, who is the third umpire. And we also have Jonathan Blades, who is very much a part of the panel with the experience of umpiring at the first class level. But when you look at that, Donovan, not looking good at all.
Certainly, good afternoon to you and good afternoon to all of our viewers. Indeed, you would want to see cricket, not only cricket, but in my opinion, two of the best teams in the island. Both teams packing strong quality players within their side. The Wildy side, of course, with the experienced players who've played for Barbados and so far, and also had looking at our international side, touring with the West Indies. Indeed, Wildy, a very powerful side. And Gladiola also, superb blend Gladiola, really one, as I said, one of the better teams in the island, who also packs a good team with a lot of depth, with an experienced campaigner like Ashley Nurse, former Barbados and West Indies players, and indeed a lot of key players who on any given day can really turn it on and win a game for them. So we were really excited here to see the prospects of seeing what, in my opinion, would have been really a crackerjacker.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Donovan Lovell, very much a part of our commentary team. Well, it's about this time we're going to say goodbye to
the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation, of course. We want to thank them for the partnership. It's really great that they could have partnered with the Barbados Cricket Association in ensuring that viewers from all across Barbados get an opportunity. No cricket. There was a schedule, of course, finals between Superb, Glen, Gladiola, and Wildy, but it looks very much as if that we're not going to be getting any cricket. But once again, we want to thank CBC for being part of this. They're going to be leaving us pretty soon. And as I said, in addition to the World Cup coverage, we're also going to be having some commentaries in terms of radio 94.7 FM. And we want to thank Derry Bone and her team for ensuring that Barbadians from all walks of life will be in a position to actually hear the cricket. So, CBC, take a bow, thanks, and we want to wish you all the best, and we hope that we can have this partnership going again pretty soon. All right, so we're going to continue, of course, for the stream, gentlemen. You've been on with us before. Of course, we're talking very much to Andy Payne. Andy, not looking good at all.
Not at all, Andrew. With that last shower that we had, I think that's done a little bit of a disservice to what we were looking for. We just had a bit of an inspection. We're still awaiting words as to what took part over there. But yeah, it's not looking very good at all.
No, not at all. In fact, when you reported earlier, in fact, we just taking some confirmation. I think Harley Eastman is telling us that the game is called off now. Oh, just confirming. So Harley Eastman is confirming. Or are you going to talk to the match referee to see? But it's not looking good at all. I'll be very surprised, Linden Yard, if we have any cricket.
Oh, yes, Andrew. It's very, very difficult to get the game going. The conditions, as I said, still very extremely overcast. The outfield remains good enough. However, with no sun, no visible sunshine, and as we go in later down in the afternoon, both teams obviously would not want to play at 9 minutes to 5 o'clock to play 5 over. That's not what is ideal for a final, especially when you have a reserve day, which is the following day. So we'll hope that more than likely this game will be called off and we'll be back here tomorrow.
Okay, but Harley Eastman, of course, is going to be telling us very, very soon what's happening as far as that is concerned. But Donovan, a big disappointment. You came, you would have played for Wildy at some time. I know you played for about 25 clubs. You played for Wildy, didn't you, Donovan?
Certainly, Andrew. And I guess you're being a bit cheeky.
As usual, as usual.
Yeah, but nevertheless, wanting to see good cricket. Obviously affiliated with the Wildy side, as you would have mentioned, but I still want to see a really good game here today. And I suspect if we had a Gohan player here today with both sides so powerful indeed, Andrew, I would imagine it would have been really, really a good game. And it's really disappointing that we can't get any play today. But as you said, quite rightfully, Linden as well, you won't want to have a finals being decided only after 5 overs. So hopefully tomorrow will be better. The sun will shine, it will rise again, and we can see what we expect to be, as I said
Haven't
before,
looked into your crystal ball.
Into my crystal ball.
Yeah. And you always do that, don't you, Donovan?
Expect to see.
How big is that crystal ball?
It's very small. You have to look at it with one eye, Andrew. So in actual fact, hoping that tomorrow can bring better.
Well, tomorrow is my birthday, so it seems that I had some grand plans for tomorrow, going into St. Philip and spend some time with the old lady. But I'll tell you now, tomorrow it looks as if I've got to come here because there's a reserve. So the news is no play. No play, 1 or 2 inspections, but the confirmation has come thanks to Harold Eastman, who is working really for his very, very big pay that he gets, telling us that there is no cricket and tomorrow is the reserve day.
Yes, tomorrow is the reserve day, Andrew, and I think both teams will be happy that they will be given a chance to play a full game as opposed to, we said, a 5 over in a final. And with the players that both teams are having, they will want to express themselves in a wider, on a full game setting.
Yeah, just before we wrap, let me come back to you, Linden Yard. The 2 teams making it to the finals, Superb, Glen, Gladiola, of course, very much involved in this, and Wildy. Harold Eastman spoke about the stats earlier, and it would appear as if, based on those stats we had from him, the 2 best teams actually qualified.
Yes, I have to agree with Harold. Statistics don't tell lies, you earned them. And on any given Saturday, well, I had the honor of having 2 of Maple games, and I must say I was very impressed with the way they've come back, having been demoted. They played very, very well. I think they lost the semi-final by 1 run. And kudos to Andy Payne and his team, Emerson Jordan et al., who have gotten together to bring back the youth and maintain that West Coast interest in Barbados cricket. But getting back to these teams, on a given Saturday, the scores were always prominent. They did well in terms of when they batted or whether they chased. There was always a difference between Gladiola and Wildy. And I think over the last 5 years, you have to give kudos to the fact that they have been consistently the best white ball teams in Barbados.
Do you agree with that, Donovan?
Yeah, certainly. They've certainly played some wonderful cricket. And what really impressed me with this Gladiola unit, they are a family. They live like a family. And really, they play for each other. And that's very, very, very important. Easily the best white ball team, as Lyndon said, for the past 5 years. So I've been really impressed with those guys. And they will decide, what I like about the will decide, this depth. So if, for instance, you happen to get the first two out cheaply, there's always depth, and the batting goes right away down at almost to 11, really. So that's a powerhouse, really. So these two teams against one another could only produce once. They both play to the true potential, can only produce what would be a wonderful game.
You agree with that?
100%. Yeah, like there's performances over the last couple of seasons, like the guys have mentioned. I mean, it can't go unmentioned or notice. I mean, when you look at the construct of both teams, they've got some very good players. Was privileged enough to be there at the Wildy ground for the semi-final against the Gladiola team, and their unit is a very good one. You see the experience of someone like Ashley Nurse. He's got the youthfulness of the Pizzas, you know, and young Rivaldo Clark, who I think is a good player in the making. I mean, and when you look at their pace bowlers, they had pace bowlers on short. Unfortunately, Stephon Griffith, he missed out on that game, but Hart, I thought he bowled pretty well. So, you know, it's a really good mixture. We can't not mention Matthew Jones over the last couple of seasons with his white boy exploits. He's the leading bowler in the competition by far. He's got some 20-odd wickets, 18 wickets, if you're going to be precise. But his bowling over the past couple of seasons in the white ball version, Andrew, he's been economical. He's been picking up wickets all the time. So it's a very good team. And then we speak about the experience of the Wildy players, coached by St. Hill. But they've also got that depth of players, are very good cadre players there. Someone like Shane Parris, who I was seen from a young player, to see him coming out now and getting runs in the absence of someone probably like Zach McCaskey, who's now back in the team. I mean, that led to a good start going out to the season. So I was looking forward to seeing a really good contest here today. But as we said, we've got the opportunities to do it tomorrow.
All right. I think we got another, 10 minutes left with us. We're going to wrap actually at 4:25. So, gentlemen, we're going to try to get the captains. But let's turn our attention now quickly to the World Cup as we try to get the captains to come on the stream. Lyndon Yard, World Cup cricket on our doorstep. Are you excited?
Oh, yes, Andrew. As they say, I'm chomping at the bit to say that on horse racing. The first time that the World Cup is going to encompass 20 teams, and to have it right here in the region, in the Caribbean, is obviously a fantastic opportunity for all the countries involved. 4 zones of 5. And, of course, one would expect that the major teams would go forward, and then maybe there's always a team with an outside chance to make it cause an upset in terms of relegating one of the bigger sides. Another interesting observation is that I'm extremely elated for young Nicholas Curtin, who would represent Canada, so he gets an opportunity at Barbadian. And, of course, there's Aaron Jones, who will represent the United States. So, as they say, Andrew, wherever you go, there's a Bajan everywhere.
Yeah, indeed. Look, we got 4 Bajans here. Indeed. Yeah, and of course we're looking forward to Jofra Archer as well.
And Chris Jordan.
Yeah, and Chris Jordan. Yeah, wonderful. Do you think the West Indies can win the World Cup?
I would not
Talk to me, Lyndon.
I would not want to say no, Andrew, but I'll be open and honest and say they're not one of my favorite teams. They're in a zone with New Zealand, who one expects to qualify. They've basically held most of their players from the last World Cup. Also in there as a dark horse is Afghanistan, who can't be underestimated. Yeah, as a dark horse.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, bear in mind that Afghanistan have this thing about spin. We, the West Indies, we don't play that well. So I don't think that we can really take them for granted. You would expect the West Indies and New Zealand would go through over that zone, but it's not written in the stone.
Are you sure about that?
I said it's not written in the stone, Andrew. So Afghanistan obviously would be the dark horse in that zone.
We got 2 games in Ghana. How significant would that be in terms of a low, slow pitch at Providence?
Well, it'll be good. It'll be good for the West Indies playing at home. against the lighter sides. I don't call them minnows, but the lighter sides. And I think they'll have to express themselves. But the first option for the West Indies, I think they have Afghanistan first up. And that's going to be, you don't want to come on the wrong side of that coin right away or the wrong results. So therefore, if you can take out Afghanistan and then leave it all down to the New Zealand side, then it's touch and go. But you wouldn't want to start with a loss. But West Indies, as this saying goes, if you're in it, got a chance of winning it.
Donovan.
Well, I'm really, really excited that the World Cup is coming to the Caribbean, really. I'm happy about it. We're doing a fantastic job thus far supporting it. And I'm going to steal some lyrics from a local Calypso song, Andrew. I feel so good. I feel so good. I feel so cricket good. And it's really lovely to see that the West Indians are happy that we're hosting it. I'm confident that the West Indies side will do well. And there are a couple of players who I don't figure should have been in that side.
Right.
Nevertheless, I am not the most honorable, but I'm hoping that they will do well. I'm confident that they will do well. And the batting is good. If you realize in Australia, even though we were beaten, we got up to 200 on almost every occasion. I'll tweak here and there with the bowling, and I'm telling you, we can be competitive, and I'm going as far as to put my money on the West Indies to win the World Cup.
And you said you feel good?
I feel so good. I feel so good.
Who sings that song?
It's a popular song, Andrew.
I feel good. Can you sing it?
I feel so good.
Oh, my God. That's
I
a love,
feel
man.
So cricket good.
Wonderful indeed. Andy Payne, can we win it?
In Lyndon's terms, he said he was chomping at the bit. I'm looking forward to seeing it tee off, Andrew. But yeah, I think we have a good chance. The West Indies team. I kind of like the construct of the team. Is a very good-looking team on paper, but it just need to get the right compositions based on the surfaces that we play on. Like we said, we started in Guyana at Providence. We've got a cadre of spinners, so it's be interested to see what selections we put out on the day. As Donovan said, the batting has been pretty prolific in recent times in the T20 version. So I'm backing the West Indies to make it to the Super 8s for sure.
For sure. Now, you talk about the construct of the side. You're in Ghana. Do you think Shea Hope will start?
Well, it'd be interested to see. I mean, given what Roston Chase have been doing in recent terms, I think they're looking at Roston probably to be in that batting position, that number 4 position. But that's the position where Shea likely to bat as well. So it'd be a up and down toss between any of the two of these players, in my view, especially. But with Shea's, there's Roston's other option of the spin. I think he might be getting the nod as we stand.
You think he'll start?
Shea Hope?
Yeah.
I wouldn't start him, Andrew. I wouldn't start him. Just to deviate a little bit from whether we start Shea Hope or not, just to tell you, Andrew, that in the game South Africa versus West Indies, the second warm-up game, West Indies batting first, 141 for 4 of 15.2 overs. I could tell you Captain Brandon King, he made 36. Johnson Charles, Andrew, just made 7. Kyle Mears.
Was Johnson
32.
Charles in your side?
I would not have picked him, Andrew.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no. Roston Chase is not on 30. Andrea Fletcher made 29. Romario Shepherd is batting. He's yet to score. West Indies 142 for 4 or 15.3 over. So they're looking, or as you would say, cooking good looking.
Cooking
so
good
far.
looking.
But
yes.
these are the warm up games, and it is when the tournament starts, June 1. That will separate the boys from the men.
That's when the big boys should be in action. So you're saying that you wouldn't start Shea Hope?
No, I wouldn't start Shea Hope. I think that Shea Hope utilizes too much dot balls, Andrew. He's gone to the IPL. He's been given opportunities, limited opportunities, but that was totally expected where I'm concerned, because in the toughest league in the world, toughest T20 league in the world, it's all about production. Yeah, and they have some very high-paying players, highly paid players who are paid to produce. And that's a situation where Shea Hope, he will utilize so much deliveries, and that's my problem with playing Shea Hope.
So how about the fact that you're playing at Providence where the pitch is low and slow? Would you want someone to bat around him? Would you give that consideration?
I like to play the game, Andrew, on the day, and not tell a fella that he has to go out there and bat. You play the sheet anchor role.
Okay.
Because he might be man on the day who's easily to express himself than the more aggressive, let's say, Johnson Charles.
Okay.
You know, so to put a fella to bat and let the others bat around him, I think T20 just doesn't play like that. You've got to utilize the first 6 overs, Andrew.
What's the construct of your side, the 11? Is that a difficult question?
Well, give me some time to think about it.
Okay, think about it. Do you want pen and paper?
I would appreciate it as well.
Okay, so the answer is yes. Now, would you have Shea Hope in your side?
Well, I've been saying it for a while. Again, please remember this is just my opinion. He would not have been in my side. I believe that Shea Hope should be playing 50 over cricket.
So hold on, I just want to get this right. So Shea Hope was not in your T20
He was not
squad.
in my T20 squad.
Oh my golly.
20 cricket, I would say no. Test cricket, yes.
But not
50
T20.
over cricket.
Yes.
For sure.
But not
now,
T20.
You're not picking him in your test side. You're saying that he's our best batter. That's what you're saying. He's your best batter. Still, he cannot make his way into the test side. But you're going to put him now in a T20 side. Now, if the West Indies side get off to a flyer, so we are 70 or 75 in the first 6 overs.
Yes.
Power play.
Do you send him at
then
3?
Who will come?
Yeah.
Obviously, Puran will come.
Yes.
Then Hetmeyer will come.
Powell.
Then Powell will come.
Yes.
Then Russell would come. Then Jason Holder and Shepard would come. So where is he going to bat? So you're playing him. You are playing Shea Hope, and you are saying, just in case we are struggling, I'm not using that at all. I'm confident enough to believe that we will not be struggling. So we have enough firepower.
So there's no need for
So
hope.
there's no need for hope.
You support that argument?
Well, I kind of said that we've got a Roston Chase, who happens to be not out right now, as Lyndon just said, who's been doing that role. And I said, with his added dimension, especially at some players like Providence, I'm saying that he would be one of my go-to pick if we needed someone to hold that role. So, yeah, I think Roston, would be my choice if you needed a holding batsman.
Correct.
Lyndon Yard is putting his 11 together.
I've got it.
Do you need some time?
Yes, I would definitely need some time to look at it alongside Lyndon.
Yeah. Donovan, do you need any time?
Well, for sure, I'm going with Charles up front.
Charles?
With King. With King.
So Charles and King at the top?
At the top.
Yes.
So Puran is at 3.
Puran at 3.
4. Hetmeyer.
Are you sure?
I almost say something there, Andrew. But let me just say this: you want him in your side.
Right.
Let me leave it at that.
So Hetmeyer at 4.
You want him in your side.
Right.
So Hetmeyer would be at 4. Then
5.
you have Powell.
6.
5.
Oh, 5.
6. Chase.
Oh, you have Chase?
Chase is in the side. 7. You're looking at Russell. So 8, you're looking at Holder. 9, not Shamari Joseph. Alzari Joseph.
Okay.
All right. Then you have Shepard. And if you're going to use the slow bowling option, it's a toss-up between Monty and Hussein. I would really, the person that I would want really in there, if I had anything to do with it, as I said, I'm not the most honorable, but I really would like the setup to really include Walsh.
Oh, Walsh. Hayden Walsh.
Hayden Walsh.
You had him in your
I
squad.
had him, not only, Andy, is he going to give you a wicket or two, he's capable of scoring 40, and he's going to save 30
But
in the field.
he's also capable of being expensive.
And he's going to save 30 in the field.
Did you hear what he just
so
said?
remember,
I'm
Andy,
just to come to your argument.
you asked me for my 11.
Yes.
Remember that. This
Yeah,
is my 11.
yeah.
All right, good.
And you feel good about your 11.
I feel good about that 11. So I'm going to lean towards, because he's not going to be in, I lean towards Hussein. For the slow bowler, with Roston Chase obviously chipping in with his off breaks, and I think we have a pretty good balanced side that can do it. But again, me iterate, I'm not the most honorable. That's just my opinion.
Right. Now you've picked your 11. Lyndon, are you ready? Like Freddie?
Oh yes, Andrew. I'm
Talk
ready.
to us.
I'm going to give you, but not necessarily in batting order, but I'll give you the strongest 11 I think should start for the very first game. So obviously, Robert Powell is your captain. Johnson Charles, Roston Chase, Shamron Hetmeyer, Jason Holder, Akil Hossain, Brandon King, Godakish Muti, Nicholas Puran, Andrea Russell, and Romario Shepard. You need me to repeat that for you, Andrew?
Yeah. And do it slowly. I'm getting a bit old now. My birthday is tomorrow. I'm going to be...
Rob Powell, that's
Yes.
your captain. Johnson Charles, Roston Chase, Shamron Hetmeyer, Jason Holder, Akil Hossain, Brandon King, Godakish Muti, Nicholas Puran, Andrea Russell, and Romario Shepherd. So noticeably, Andrew, I'm just going with the 3 pacers to back up with the 2 slow bowlers.
Right, interesting.
And then we'll back from there.
Andy?
I think you're going on to another interview here, Andrew, but I pretty much siding with what Lyndon just selected. My only thing there, I think, like I said, playing in some players like Providence to start, I think Moti might make his way into that team with Hussein and Roston Chase as your third spin bowler. So it just means you look at the expense of one of your seam bowlers. You've got the likes of Jason, Andre Russell, and maybe a Shepherd. But for me, I think that would be it. But that would be my setup.
So thanks you gentlemen for coming and talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, Lyndon Yard, of course Donovan Lovell, and of course Andy Payne, very much a part of it. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up with the captains of the 2 teams. Please stay with us. That's okay. Leave that. All right, so we've had a long day. I came here just around 1 o'clock with visions of glory in terms of the action, but there's no cricket. Confirmation came about half an hour ago. We had rain this morning. There was an inspection, and the finals in the cup competition between Superb Blend, Gladiola, and Wildy. Of course, Superb Blend, Gladiola, the defending champions. No cricket, and of course, there's a reserve day tomorrow. So, weather permitting, we should be in a position to have some cricket for you. We've got the captains of the 2 teams. Ashley Nurse, a former West Indies cricketer. Of course, he is very much in the courts of Superb Blend, Gladiola, and young Carlos Maynard, who is the captain of the Wildy side. Let's start with you, Carlos. Disappointed, no cricket today?
Yeah, obviously, we came here looking to play a good game of cricket, but obviously, due to, reasons not beyond our control, it didn't happen today, but hopefully we can get a game in tomorrow.
All right. Had a chance to see the pitch. Any seepage?
No, I didn't see any seepage, so hopefully tomorrow is a good pitch.
Okay. You've played here at this ground before. You like KMB Oval?
Yes, I've played here numerous times actually, because I actually went to school at the Allen School.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I would have played
Andrew?
a lot of games here as a schoolboy, so yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay. The pitch here, how does it normally play?
Well, it's a clear pitch, so usually, it's pretty decent at the start, but then it tends to keep a bit low in the evening, as the sun starts to bake it up. But all in all, it's usually a pretty decent pitch. Yeah.
We've got Ashley Nurse, of course. Needs no introduction. He's the heart and soul of the Superb Glen Gladiola side. Ashley, disappointed no cricket today?
Yeah, it's a bit of the way calling me. Obviously disappointed that Korea hasn't played, but obviously they want to play a reduced final as well. So I think the right decision has been made, and I think tomorrow we can have a proper shootout. Yeah,
and in terms of practice sessions, I know it's been a start-stop situation. Have you been getting in practice up there, Rices?
Yeah, we practice every week.
Okay.
Even last week, we called a practice day on Saturday. We were meant to have a practice at the Oval on Thursday, but obviously we better again hampered us. So it is what it is, but we've had our preparations in.
And you've got a pretty decent side. I like the construct of your side. You're the defending champions.
Yeah, we have a good unit. I think it's a well-balanced unit, between experience and youngsters, PS and spin, and good hard-hitting batsmen as well as guys who can knock it around. So it's a balanced unit, and the guys are really ready.
Yeah, and Carlos, you would have had the pleasure of someone like Adjofa Archer playing for you earlier. How important was that?
Yeah, I think it's actually quite crucial for us, very vital for us, seeing that we have quite a a lot of youngsters in our team. So having someone like Jofa who would have played at the highest level in and amongst the team, I think it really did a good job for us.
Yeah, indeed. And Carlos Bradford would have played 1 or 2 matches for you as well?
Yes, indeed. And obviously Carlos, like Jofa, would have played at the highest level. So having him, in our team, it really gave us that bit of extra confidence to go on and do what we need to do.
Indeed. Let's look at the Gladiola team, of course, sponsored by Superb Blend. How important is sponsorship? I know teams struggle to get sponsorship, but you must be commended because someone is actually sponsoring, so that would help you.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, sponsors are very important for any entity, not only a cricket club or whatever, but obviously in business and stuff, sponsorship helps a lot. So we're really honored to have Superb Blend on a journey with us, and we haven't been disappointed them from the time they came on. So we're really happy to have them. And
you're enjoying your cricket still? You're not as young as you used to be, but you're still playing and making some important contributions.
Yeah,
I saw you in the finals last year at Weymouth. What a performance!
Yeah, once I'm available, I always try to give back to my club. Once I still wake up and I love it, I'll be around.
Carlos, have you been getting your performances? I know that you still have the ambition of trying, maybe thinking of playing for Barbados. Is that still your goal, to play for Barbados?
If the opportunity presents itself, I would definitely grab hold to it. But for me, it's just about taking every game as it comes and just try to do my best for the team. Right?
Indeed, and the experience of captain on the side, you've got some big guns in your side.
Yeah.
How's that gone, Captain Wildy?
Well, I've captained Wildy before, so
right.
It's, like I say, it's nothing new for me. I think having those guys is pretty much an addition to me. Obviously having them to help me in times of need. So, like I said, just having these guys around makes it a lot easier. So.
Indeed. Well, I want to thank you for coming and talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you, Carlos Mena, the captain of the Wildy side, and of course we're going to have the last word with you. Very experienced Ashley Nurse, former West Indies cricketer, Superb Blend Gladiola. And I just want to turn for my final question. Has nothing to do with the finals that hopefully we play tomorrow, the World Cup, the West Indies. You think, having played at that level, you were very much a part of a winning side. Do you think the West Indies, they've got the goods to win the tournament?
Yeah, I think we have a chance. Our chances are as good as any. The side, the construct is a decent side. Obviously, in our conditions, I think we'll do well. So it's all about taking it game by game for them. Obviously, playing common sense cricket and just using our conditions to our advantage.
Right. Well, thanks to you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you to come and talk to us. Of course, Ashley Nurse, who is the captain of the Superb Blend Gladiola, the defending champions in this competition. Wildy, of course, a tough opponent. No play today, but we're hoping that we can actually get some cricket tomorrow. And let's hope the sun can come out and we could have the finals, of course, of the T20 Cup competition. I'm Andrew Mason. Hope that you enjoy what we had to offer. No live action, but boy, we've done a lot of work from as early as about 5 minutes to 2 o'clock. We were on stream. We want to thank CBC Television for being very much a part of this. And for the final time from the KMV Oval, it's good evening.